This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A year after a debacle where the Cowboys' Micah Parsons relationship deteriorated to the point that it led to his trade to Green Bay, Dallas is taking a different approach this offseason in negotiations and having a sense of urgency. The Cowboys will use the franchise tag on receiver George Pickens, who's coming off a career year, says Dallas Executive Vice President Stephen Jones.
We want Pickens here. Think the world of him. Want him here, love him. And I think he wants to be here, so all that's a plus. A lot of guys who we've tagged, participated in everything. Dak leading the way, and he played under two of them, so he never missed anything. Hopefully that'll be the case here.
A source told ESPN's Jeremy Fowler that the Falcons will franchise tag tight end Kyle Pitts. NBA Suns forward Dylan Brooks, one of the team's best two-way players, will miss 4 to 6 weeks with a broken hand amid their playoff push. Phoenix currently is 7th in the Western Conference. Houston forward Kevin Durant telling ESPN he plans to play in the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. He's a 4-time gold medalist and the U.S. men's all-time leading scorer at the Summer Games.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Tuesday, the NFL Combine is here, and I'll tell you which players I'm paying the most attention to this week. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Tiger sweep this weekend. Ross Jackson's got a new 7-round mock draft. We'll get to that. Todd Walker in hour 2. William Schmidt here in hour 3. A lot to do. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
And we'll begin today with the LSU Baseball Tigers doing work, sweeping 3 games in the JAX Classic. Of course, they beat Indiana on Friday while we were here. Saturday did work against Notre Dame. And then on Sunday, closing out with a run rule win, 11-0 over Central Florida in 7 innings. So the Tigers, over the 3 games, played 23 innings, or had 23 at-bats, I should say. And they're pretty masterful. And for the 3rd straight season, they sweep one of these pre-conference tournaments. And, as you start to look at how you want to begin to recap a weekend, you start to think, do I want to start on the mound or do I want to start at the plate? And kind of tough to determine at this point which is more impressive because, man, they're a freight train right now. We'll start with the pitching. And I guess we'll start with what was most recent, and that was William Schmidt. And, in Jay Johnson's time at LSU, and this isn't atypical. I mean, this is pretty common throughout college baseball. Not many programs establish a really good third starter. It's been a challenge for Jay Johnson. Early in the year last year, there was Chase Shores. He eventually emerged into a really good bullpen arm later in the season. We'd even go back to the 23 national championship team where you tried a lot of different rotations, and Thatcher Hurd didn't really become a key contributor until late in the season, pitched some critical innings for LSU in Omaha. But establishing a number 3 throughout his time here has been a challenge. If William Schmidt can solidify that role, and that obviously also would require Casey Evans and Cooper Moore to continue pitching really well, but you'd be talking about as good a number 3 as there is in America. And that's not hyperbole. I mean, we all know this is a guy that passed on over $3 million to come to school and has a big league breaking ball with the spin rate and all. I mean, he sits 95, he touches 97. I mean, he's awesome. He's an incredible arm talent. The issue a year ago was at times struggled to throw the ball over the plate and get SEC hitters out consistently. Same for Cade Anderson as a freshman. As a sophomore, boom, light bulb comes on, 3rd pick in the draft. So it's not a reach. I mean, it's almost like when you go back and you look at 2012 when you went Gosman, Eads, Nola. I mean, you had Aaron Nola as your number 3. Guy ended up being a future top 10 pick. So if you get what you got out of Schmidt on Sunday consistently, 5 innings pitched, no runs on 3 hits, 7 strikeouts, a walk, all on 91 pitches. I mean, the efficiency of the 91 pitches was amazing. He threw 91 pitches a week prior, but was able to get an extra inning out of it this week in the game against Central Florida. And I'll tell you the other thing, he really wasn't challenged through the first 3 innings. But in both the 4th and the 5th, he allowed the leadoff man on. He allowed a leadoff double in the 4th and then a single in the 5th. And being able to work out of both of those situations without allowing a run, I think that's kind of the maturity you're hoping to see, to not be shaken by a moment like that. In the 5th, he gave up the single, then went strikeout, did walk, issued a 2-out walk, but then got a fly out to right field to get out of it. And then in the 4th inning after the double, he went strikeout. There was a wild pitch in there that allowed a runner to go to third, but even with the runner at third, didn't allow him to score, didn't allow the ball in play. It's just incredibly impressive. Evans and Moore were good. I love what Jay Johnson said about Case and Evans after his start against Indiana on Friday.
I was proud of his response. His task is close the first inning. He's one of the best closers in the country. Get better as you go, and then close your outing. I thought he closed the first inning. I thought he closed his outing terrifically today. So we'll work through that. I think there was a couple good teaching moments in there, but I thought he was pretty good today. If that's what he does every week, we will win every time he pitches because of these guys.
These guys were York and Milam, I believe, who were sitting next to him right there. And he's talking about the offense, which was incredible throughout. I mean, LSU was losing that game going into the 8th inning, and they end up winning 14-7, which was incredible. So a great day for LSU, and I love how Jay phrased that with Case and Evans about, he's the best closer in the country. Close the first inning, and then close your outing. And LSU did that, and Case and Evans did that, which allowed him to extend deeper into the ball game. He got 5 innings, 3 runs and 3 hits, struck out just 4, walked only 2. He kept his pitch count reasonable, getting through 5 innings on just 80 pitches. Like, that will play for this team. And then Cooper Moore was actually very good. He was better than what his line showed. The 3rd inning, if you were watching that game on Saturday, I know some people had trouble watching the game because it was behind a paywall, but the 3rd inning on Saturday was just a mess. Only 1 ball got out of the infield. It was just a weird thing. There was a swinging bunt that got reviewed and just different stuff like that. So I thought he was that was what happened with Evans on Friday. But Moore was very good in this ballgame, better than what his line showed. So I thought LSU, by and large, pitching very good. 9 relievers. You didn't use any reliever more than once. Guidry and Sheeran both continue to be very good. So hard not to come out encouraged from the weekend. Offensively, I think so far, and they're 8 games in, I think offensively, this is the most complete lineup, and it's early, that I've seen since the 2015 team. And I know 15 is a year that most people won't remember, but, man, that was an awesome team. They were 54-12. They were 21-8 in SEC play. They didn't lose back-to-back games the entire season. They just didn't win in Omaha, and that's the standard by which this program is judged. But that team, 8 of the 9 everyday players hit over 300. The only exception was Jared Foster, who had 279 and had 10 bombs. So, they were awesome, and they were relentless, and there was just not an out in that lineup. This feels a lot like that, and because you have great depth as well, he can play lefty-righty matchups however he wants, and you don't feel like there's a drop-off. Hat tip Hunt Palmer over at LouisianaSports.net. He does an Around the Horn, like a weekend series recap, and a few of the numbers that he put up there. Of the 23 innings at-bats that LSU had, they were retired in order just 3 times. 23 innings, 23 at-bats, and they got you up and down in order just 3 times all weekend. 15 of the 23 weekends, you got your leadoff hitter on, and 5 times you had a runner on third base with less than 2 outs. They got the run home all 5 times. I mean, they are just relentless, and they are productive, and I love the fact that they have a team concept approach. Jay said something. He said this often, but the time he said it that I think it was most memorable to me was in Omaha this past year, where he said something to the effect of, winning games at LSU will always mean more than the individual performance. It will always be a team concept. And that's how this team approaches offense. I mean, they walked 14 times against Indiana. This is a stark contrast to like the Miners, for example, where it's not about winning games. It's not about a team concept. It's all about developing players to get them to be major leaguers. Where you think of a situation where if it's the ninth inning and you're down a run and you need base runners and there's a borderline pitch, in the minors, maybe you're swinging at that to try to dump a single into right field to see if you can boost your average a bit. In this situation, you might take that pitch because you need base runners. You need to get on base. So that's the team concept you see offensively with this LSU team. And, man, it is so impressive. It's just get on base because whoever's behind me is going to bring me in. I've had some people ask, do you see any weakness on this team? That's to be determined. I will say we should point out that Chris Stanfield is still not played since last Saturday. And both Tanner Reeves and Braden Simpson had sketchy moments in left field defensively. Stanfield has played in 500 career college games. You're going to get Chris Stanfield back. That's going to make you even better in the outfield. And let me remind you, Chris Stanfield was your leading hitter in conference play a year ago. People forget, in SEC games, Chris Stanfield was your leading hitter. So as hard as it is to believe, you're actually going to get even better whenever you get Stanfield back. So, man, they're fun to watch. And they're 8-0 of the day off today. They'll be back at it tomorrow at home against McNeese, and then a weekend series ahead. So Tigers are chugging along. Jay has this team playing exceptionally well. And, man, can you stay healthy? How much more confident and consistent can you get your starting pitching to maybe extend deeper into games? They combined for 15 and a third. Your three starters did. With the depth of the arms you got in the bullpen, man, you're getting 5 innings out of your starters. It's going to carry you a long way. They're a lot of fun to watch right now. So Tigers moved to 8-0. They sweep the weekend there in Jacksonville. They'll be back at it again on Tuesday. All right, our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. The official beer of the Tigers. Of course, we got the officially licensed LSU 16-ounce bottles with the national championship logo. Make sure you pick them up at great local retailers. If you're going to be watching games at home in your back patio area, you're going to the box. Whatever it is, make sure you got plenty of delicious ice-cold Bud Light for your tailgates, watching the game in the stands there at the box, at home on TV, or your favorite restaurant watering hole. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, and the official beer of the national champion LSU Baseball Tigers. Okay, y'all, it is After Further Review. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows. We'll knock out a quick break, come back. Ross Jackson over at Louisiana Sports.net has a 7-round mock, and I think what he did in the first 3 rounds was solely to appease me. But we'll talk about it next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Buy local and shop local. That's what you can do over at Clegg's Nursery. We are getting nearer spring. Cannot wait. Unfortunately, the weather ticked down, got a little chilly. We're actually going to be in the 30s tonight. But spring is nearly springing. And soon spring will have sprung. And it is time to just plant something. Clegg's can help you do it. Any of the 4 locations: Segan Air Airline, LA 16 in Dedham, Mid-City on Donmore, Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Just plant something, y'all. You know what to do. Get your hands in the dirt. Add a pop of color to your flower beds, to your patio pots. And, man, they have so much selection right now. Fruit trees, rose bushes, a timeless favorite. Plenty of exciting new releases over at Clegg's Nursery. And if you got weeds in your lawn as you're starting to get towards spring, they have the Clegg's Weed Cocktail as well to knock those weeds out of your lawn. They can help at Clegg's Nursery. So, buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
Trust isn't given. It's earned. Earned by showing up, putting in the work, the hours that nobody sees. I didn't get here on my own. I trust my coaches to lead, my teammates to step up, and when the game is on the line, Our Lady of the Lake to keep me healthy and on the court. Because it takes a champion to care for a champion. I trust the Lake.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
Want to play baseball or softball like the pros? Then join me this Thursday at Marucci's Hitter's House on Seagan. We'll be broadcasting AFR live, so come take some hacks in the cages and meet our friends over at Marucci, the official bat of Major League Baseball at Marucci's Hitter's House.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Faber Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FaberChevrolet.com.
Everything you need for a stunning garden is at the Plant Barn in Baton Rouge. From trees and shrubs to plants and pottery, the Plant Barn has it all at great prices. Visit us today on Valley Street, right off Perkins Road in South Downs.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Cam Jordan made a few comments at TMZ about his future in New Orleans. We'll get to that here in about an hour and 15 minutes. Also in hour 3, we want to talk about a possible free agent interior offensive lineman I might like to see the New Orleans Saints target. A lot of what happens in free agency, of course, will determine what the Saints' approach will be in the draft. Ross Jackson will be at the Combine this week up in Indy. Good enough to hang out with us here as he's got a new 7-round mock up over at LouisianaSports.net. Yo, dude, how are you?
Hey, dude, doing great. Thanks for having me. How are you?
Good. Have you ridden in a Waymo in New Orleans yet?
Dude, I don't think they're ever going to put a Waymo in New Orleans.
Dude, no. There's Waymos in New Orleans.
There are Waymos in New Orleans? Matt, I'm so sorry. I got to go.
I see ya. No, I don't blame you at all.
I got to go.
No, there's a guy who keeps sharing on my text line photos of Waymos in New Orleans. Waymo is in New Orleans.
Way.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm about to live so well.
How about that? See, we went all the way to San Francisco to ride a Waymo. You could have just gone down the street. That's all you had to do.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm fine with that.
It was worth it.
I'm glad that we got to do one that we got to ride one in San Francisco too.
It was really good.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Okay, I don't know if there's Waymos in Indy, but I know you'll be in Indianapolis this week. What with the Combine are you maybe most interested in seeing this week?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think a lot of it, of course, centers around the NFL draft prospects and everything, but that is a really long runway of a process. I think the thing that I'm most interested in is what are the whispers that are going on and the rumors and the ideas of, where it is that teams are looking to go in free agency or with some of the in-house free agents and things like that. Like the Saints have some pretty big names, right? Cam Jordan, DeMario Davis, Alontae Taylor. These are all guys either on voiding or expiring contracts that may or may not be in New Orleans next year. And during the Combine is the time to where the Saints, as well as all of, the representation for all those players, they're all in Indianapolis at the same time. So this is the time that those conversations either really get started or pick up a lot of steam. And so I'll be interested to see what we can learn a little bit there, see what we can learn about the Chris Olave extension and what that conversation is looking like now. As they have kind of gone well into the offseason or are facing, the beginning of the offseason here at this point. And then, outside of that, it's just looking to see what's going on prospect-wise. And, a big one that could impact the Saints is what do the medical checks look like for Arizona State wide receiver Jordan Tyson? So bottom line, there's a lot of different things going on, but it's not limited to just the draft when it comes to the Saints for sure.
We'll get to Tyson here in just a quick second. But remember, the league year obviously will start in March. The draft will be in April. So a lot of times what happens in free agency will to some degree impact what a team will do in the draft. What do you think are the things that might happen when the league year begins that will impact one way or another what the Saints do in the draft?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned an interior offensive lineman you'd like to see the Saints bring to New Orleans. I think that's a big position that could impact how they feel comfortable going about the draft, right? If they are able to go out there and get a new starting left guard, which they need, potentially competition at other spots in the offensive line as well, and depth, of course, in free agency, they might feel very comfortable not having to invest in the trenches early when it comes to the 2026 class. We don't expect a first-round pick offensive lineman to be in the books for New Orleans, but you never know when it comes to them. And so, but with them drafting number 8 overall, a second or a third-round investment in the offensive line could become necessitated if they're not able to make a signing in free agency. And then I would also say that depending upon how they go about building and bringing in players when it comes to free agency, it could impact how they approach the draft on either side of the football. Are they looking at landing an elite level running back because they feel better about the protection now up front because of their free agency investment? Did they make a big wide receiver move that maybe wasn't anticipated that takes wide receiver away from being a top 10 need for the team or a top 10 consideration for the team? And so all those things, I think, end up having a big impact about what happens and whose name is called over those 3 days in April.
Ross Jackson's with us, LouisianaSports.net, of course, Locked On Saints, where you can listen or watch always for free. Okay, let's talk a little bit about your pre-combine mock draft that's up over at LouisianaSports.net. You chose not to take a running back with the 8th overall pick.
You're welcome.
But I believe that was thrust upon you because you had Jeremiah Love going 7 to the Commanders. Okay, explain yourself.
Yeah. No, that's one of the other big spots that feels very likely for Jeremiah Love. If I'm really trying to project where things go, that would have to mean that Washington did some great things defensively in free agency, because it feels very much like that is a team in need of defense. But also in this mock, Reuben Bain Jr. went off the board early, Arvell Reese went off the board early, David Bailey went off the board early. So 3 big-time pass rushers or pass rush ability types ended up going off the board very early. So unless Washington wanted to go to a different non-premier position like safety and go Caleb Downs, it felt like Jeremiah Love made sense for the Commanders at 7.
Okay, so you have Jeremiah Love going to the Commanders at 7, and with the Saints, the 8th overall pick, taking Mekhi Lemon, the wide receiver out of Southern Cal. You wrote over the weekend about Jordan Tyson, so let's walk through why Lemon would make sense there over Tyson.
Yeah, so I'll mention, too, that at 4th overall to the Tennessee Titans in this mock, we had Carnell Tate going to the Tennessee Titans. So that took Carnell Tate out of Ohio State off the board there. And then so it came down to, do I want to go with Jordan Tyson, who has this dominating all-around wide receiver, number one guy type and style, prototype, all that, but also has these major lingering injury updates or major lingering injury history that includes 15 games lost over his first 2 seasons with major knee damage, which included all 3 ligaments, MCL, ACL, PCL, and then also had last year a hamstring injury. And Matt, we've both covered football enough to know that when it comes to hamstring injuries, it's always a matter of when, not if, when it comes to re-injury. And so those are kind of lingering, nagging things. He also had a broken collarbone, but I think the investment in Tyler Shuck and all the conversation around bone breaks and things like that tells you quite a bit that the Saints probably aren't too concerned about a broken collarbone situation. But those other 2 soft tissue ones were lingering. And so considering all of that, and considering that right now, going into Indianapolis, we don't have those answers to those questions yet or more clarity to those questions yet, it felt like Mekhi Lemon, who produced at a really high level last year at USC and would be a good fit with what the Saints have at wide receiver so far, would be the more adequate route to go to land another offensive contributor.
do you think receiver is the biggest position of need for the Saints going into this offseason?
I don't think that it's their biggest need. No, I would still put offensive line up there. This is a team that just could not get its run game going last year. They didn't have a 500-yard rusher even last season, and I think Tyler Shough actually led them in rushing touchdowns with 3. And so I think that to me is kind of their biggest need, is making sure that they're figuring out their run game. Now, there are other needs that really are big-time wants, right? You want a weapon to add to the offense, and so that's maybe where a wide receiver comes in. You want more of these playmakers on defense to get the ball back to the offense. That's where those picks could potentially come in. But the biggest need for me is offensive line, and something I think they should address in free agency, not wait until the draft, because their biggest need is on the interior of that offensive line. And anytime you're drafting interior offensive linemen, whether you're drafting them round 1 or round 7, you're drafting development, because college does not do the greatest job of developing interior offensive linemen for the next level. So that's a big undertaking for NFL teams when they go to the draft there. You'd rather go free agent.
Naturally, with it being the interior offensive line being the biggest need, it's your 5th round pick with Alabama interior offensive lineman Jaden Roberts. Right. So obviously you're talking free agency for the interior offensive line, maybe address it later in the draft. So, and Ross Jackson's our guest. So you have Lemon going with the 1st round pick, and then the Saints going defense in round 2 with Miami cornerback Keontae Scott. What do you like about Scott?
Yeah, I mean, Keontae Scott's pro comp has to be across the board Alontae Taylor. And in this scenario that we set up for this mock draft, Alontae Taylor signed somewhere else to go and be an outside cornerback in a different role. And so getting a guy like Keontae Scott who can come in and be this energetic, disruptive slot corner, he would be a perfect fit for Brandon Staley's defense. He had 60-plus tackles. He had a ton of tackles for a loss, 5 sacks, 2 interceptions. I mean, I was reading off his stat sheet or his stat line on the show the other day. I felt like that guy that skit where he's like 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 taters, and all that stuff. Like that's who Keontae Scott is, man. Like he just fills the stat sheet.
By the way, I love addressing receiver corner. I think receiver corner, maybe an edge, would be really important. Mm-hmm. You do have the Saints addressing running back with a Notre Dame running back, but not until round 3 with Jadarian Price. What's a comp for a guy like Price, and how might he fit if he were there in round 3?
It's a good question. I think if I were to do a comp for Jadarian Price, I'd probably go with like Tyler Algier, maybe, something like that. I mean, just a really good back that has good size. He's 5'11", 210 pounds, but does so well on the boundary and on the perimeter, kind of like how Tyler Algier does. And so he's a guy that's very much overshadowed, right? He's got Jeremiah Love out ahead of him, but he also had 11 rushing touchdowns last year in a season where Jeremiah Love had like 17 or 18 rushing touchdowns in the same season. And so this is a guy that can be very productive. He had 2 touchdown receptions as well, ran for over 600 yards. And one of the things that if you look back over since Jeff Ireland took over with drafting, and really even if you go back to Mickey Loomis, 2006-ish, like you go to the Sean Payton, Mickey Loomis era, the Saints typically don't draft running backs that have a ton of wear and tear. They usually draft guys that average less than 200 carries per season. Now, Devin Neal might have been a little bit of an exception. He was a highly productive back, but really outside of him, all the guys that they typically drafted outside of maybe Mark Ingram as well have been running backs that were rotational, that were the second guy, all that. Even Alvin Kamara was more of a rotational piece, Alabama, Tennessee, before ending up here in New Orleans. And so Jadarian Price feels like that guy that fits that mold. He'll need to develop a little bit more as a route runner and a pass catcher out of the backfield, but he's a willing pass protector, which is going to get you on the field. And he's great with the ball in his hands, super patient runner that allows things to develop in front of him. And it is kind of a one-cut breakaway type running back. He's a home run hitter.
You can see the 7-round mock up at LouisianaSports.net. It's free. It's from Ross Jackson. Of course, you could hear or watch him over at Locked On Saints every single day. Hey, before you go, we know that this organization is always really targeted guys with a great relative athletic score and small school sleepers. Any small school sleeper that you think would be worth keeping an eye on for New Orleans, either this week at the Combine or as we get closer to the draft process?
Yeah, I mean, one guy to keep an eye out on throughout the draft process that I'd highlight is Tyron Montgomery, coming out of John Carroll University. He's not going to be at the Combine, but he's going to be somebody to watch all throughout this draft process. He has been playing football for maybe a couple of years. I mean, he sat down with the guys at OTB during Mobile, and he really impressed there. he's the guy I would absolutely keep an eye out on. And then one of the other guys that I included in this mock, Cyrus Allen, the wide receiver, is a New Orleans native out of Cincinnati, 23 years old, just a really good slot wide receiver, which the Saints haven't had that style of wideout since maybe Willie Snead, probably, like post-Lance Moore. And so finding a player like that who led the Big 12 last year in touchdown receptions with 12 out of the slot, with 90% of his snaps coming from the slot, it's pretty impressive. So I would keep an eye out on those two guys, Tyron Montgomery out of John Carroll, as well as Cyrus Allen out of Cincinnati.
Get him at Ross Jackson, NOLA, Locked on Saints, and, of course, LouisianaSports.net. He's Ross Jackson. Enjoy your Waymo.
Thanks, man. I can't wait. I'm re-downloading the app right now.
I'll Waymo myself to New Orleans to go ride a Waymo with you again. Thank you, Ross.
That would be perfect. All right, bud. See you. Thanks for having me.
See you. That's Ross Jackson. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen. So naturally, I just got done talking about Waymo, so now I get to tell you about South Point Volkswagen. Of course, sometimes you just walk right into a wall. But maybe Waymo can give me a Volkswagen Waymo. That would be awesome. But it would be awesomer if you're someone like Erica, who's terrified of an autonomous vehicle and want to drive. Go drive one of the safest vehicles on the road. That's a Volkswagen. And the best place to go if you're going to buy a Volkswagen or lease is at South Point Volkswagen, because they are Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. Airline just north of Highland. Hey, look, it's worth the drive, even if you live outside of Baton Rouge, if they can find the vehicle with all the different specifications that you want at the best price. So go by South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland or southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Well, now I got a quick break, go around the SEC. The Olympics are in the rearview mirror, so our final Olympic updates coming up. Todd Walker in about 45 minutes from right now. Ton to do. We'll continue. It's AFR.
After Further Review.
We're brought to you by the Watermark in the Renaissance, Watermark downtown, Renaissance Southtown in Baton Rouge. Baseball season's here. Maybe great opportunity to go stay at the Watermark in downtown Baton Rouge, because the Watermark is super, super convenient to LSU. It's right there on 3rd Street in downtown Baton Rouge. Gorgeous. The old Louisiana National Bank building. You've heard me say that many times. Just this past fall in October, the building celebrated its centennial. The building's 100 years old, but they've added so many modern amenities while maintaining the historical integrity. It's awesome. You got to check it out if you've never been. But if you're coming in town for an LSU baseball weekend, or maybe you want like a little staycation, perfect. Go stay at the Watermark downtown. It's super easy access to Nicholson, right up to the box. You can dine there at the Gregory. Milford's on 3rd, more casual sort of sandwich shop. So a couple of dining options there in the hotel. Beautiful lobby bar, and a great place to host any type of event. It's downtown. It's at Watermark, Baton Rouge.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Okay, and what is our goal?
Less than 110.
That's right, less than 110.
We teach. We laugh. We pray.
Dear Heavenly Father, please guide our hands during this procedure.
Hey, how we feeling today?
I'm feeling better.
We heal.
You look better.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
We do all things.
I got you.
No way.
With great love. FMOL Health. This is how we healthcare.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know each case and client are unique, and that no two cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online, or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
One of the other things to keep an eye on with the combine this week, you'll hear, you'll have Roger Goodell speak, you'll have owners speak, GMs, all that stuff. Well, Rich McKay, who's the head of the competition committee, said they're kind of taking a look at a lot of different rules. And one of the ones that they're discussing is the catch rule. I mean, it's kind of an ongoing, almost bit, the way that we all football fans talk about the catch rule. What is a catch? Does anybody really know? We've all said it in some respect. Well, this kind of came up again because in the divisional round when the Bills were playing the Broncos, there was the Brandon Cooks play down the field. If you were watching, you'll remember it. Cooks looked like he caught the ball. He's going to the ground with the defensive back. As they roll, the defensive back ends up coming up with the ball. It was Jaquan McMillan. And they ended up ruling it an interception, and then replay couldn't overturn it. And McKay said, he was talking to NFL reporter Mark Mask, and he said, quote, "I think the issue is on catch, no catch, is that our technology is just extraordinary. And so the ability to go frame by frame and slow things down, a great solution for a lot of things, but it does present challenges for others." That, to me, feels kind of stupid to say. Oh, our technology is too good. Because if our technology wasn't this good, we wouldn't know if we were screwing up because you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. It's almost like watching replay in college baseball where you don't have 15 cameras all over the field, so you sometimes don't get the best angle in super slow-mo high definition, so you can't always tell, so it's going to be harder to overturn. This is an instance where you say, well, our technology is really, really good, so it catches a lot of our mistakes. That feels... there's a dose of irony in there, like arguing that the best thing, having great technology, which allows you to get things right, is the worst thing because it points out when you're wrong. That's what this feels like from a guy who doesn't like to be criticized. Obviously, officials wouldn't want that. But I think even more important than the catch rule is they're going to discuss outlawing short pants. Did you hear about that? They're going to discuss outlawing short pants.
I did see this.
You know how football players, a lot of football players now wear pants that like cut off mid-thigh, like on their quad. And it's weird because I don't know when this became a thing. I know why a lot of the skill guys like to do it because it's less limiting when they're running, right? I mean, it's above the knee. Whereas if you have to wear knee pads, which they have knee pads, but if it covers the knee, well then obviously you're wearing longer pants, which could be limiting in the way you run. My argument would be, well, if everybody has to wear it, then it's sort of a level playing field. But it is sort of odd because I used to love the old, the midriffs, like Chris Zorich. Remember Chris Zorich from Notre Dame? Or like Ray Lewis, these defensive dudes, they used to tuck their jersey and you just see them abbed out and they just look like monsters. It'd be so intimidating. Now they don't let you do that. You got to have these long jerseys that are tucked in and everything like that. I don't know. If you're going to work on fashion, I would at least say do something that is at least functional, and disallowing the short pants feels functional because you're making guys wear padded pants that would cover their thighs and their knees and probably be a little limiting as far as injury, but we'll see. I know that could actually be more fundamentally game changing if they outlaw the short pants instead of the catch rule, because none of us really know what is actually ever going to be a catch. And look, the technology's too good. as Rich McKay told us there. Technology's too good. So it's pointing out whenever the officials are wrong. Too good. I just dropped it. There it is. I just dropped it. I was going to throw that piece of paper. It just fell out of my hand. All right, it's After Further Review. I just went Aaron Brooks that thing. It's After Further Review, brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Go around the SEC here in just a quick second. Hey, Lent is here. Remember, Fridays and Lent, always a great shot to get by Rouse's because their hot seafood bar is there every single day. So get on by Rouse's any day because they also have hot boiled crawfish every single day. Remember, 76 Rouse's locations, and every one of them has their own in-house boiling room. So they boil crawfish in-house every day over at Rouse's. You're not getting crawfish boiled somewhere else and brought in. You're not getting old crawfish. Every day they boil it in their boiling rooms in-house. So get on by. And I also loved that it's bagged and tagged. So you walk into Rouse's, you go to the hot and boiled kiosk, you'll see the bag of crawfish with corn and potatoes. Boom. Grab it. Go to the checkout. Boom. You're done. Rouse's. The official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. Rouse's. This feels like home. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Texas Longhorns.
Billy Gonzalez. Remember that name? Well, he was the Florida's football interim head coach here recently when Billy Napier got fired. Well, he's now back at another SEC school, this time at Texas as an offensive analyst who worked with receivers. Gonzalez had multiple stints at Florida, obviously coached at LSU as well. Was not retained by new Gators coach John Summerall.
The Auburn Tigers.
Auburn's hired former Alabama offensive line coach Chris Kapilovich. He was fired at Alabama on January 23rd, so he'll be an analyst at Auburn here this coming season. He'll be assisting first-year offensive line coach Tyler Hudnick. Never heard of him. Came over with Alex Golesh from USF. Boy, I've never heard of him. Kapilovich spent the last 2 seasons as Alabama's offensive line coach. He'd also been at Michigan State, Colorado, North Carolina, Southern Miss, and others.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
Carolina's hoping for good news on injured offensive tackle transfer Jacarius Peak. Suffered a leg injury playing basketball this week. He's sidelined indefinitely. He's undergoing further evaluations. Transferred to South Carolina from NC State. He was the 8th best portal addition for the class of 2026. That's per on 3.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
And Charles Bediako, God bless him, he ain't going down without a fight. My guy's just out here trying to make a living. He is appealing to the Alabama Supreme Court to reverse a judge's decision. He's looking for interim injunctive relief so he can play the rest of the season for the Crimson Tide. Bediako's attorneys made the request Monday while the Center's appeal of a circuit court judge's denial of a preliminary injunction continues to move forward. Blah, 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 blah. Of course, we know the story. Bediako played at Alabama from 2021 to 2023. He'd been in the G League, came back into college basketball after playing in the G League. He played in 5 games. Alabama was 3-2 in those 5 games before a judge ruled against his request for an injunction, and now he's going up to the state Supreme Court. There you have it. That is around the SEC. I don't know, man. I don't blame the guy. We're all just out here trying to make an honest living. Whether it's doing radio, whether you're laying asphalt, maybe you're a doctor, maybe you're a teacher, maybe you sell insurance. Some dudes are just going the Van Wilder route, trying to play college basketball until they're 45. You do you, Charles Bediako. You go get your money. Get your money, Charles. All right, we're brought to you by Shaw Bills. Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Name brand tires at wholesale prices, and they keep coming back year after year after year because they treat you like family. Hey, if you are in the market for tires, I tell you all the time, go to the website at ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Go to the website. There's a promotions tab at the top of the page. That'll tell you every special that they currently have on tires. So if you need tires, you want to get the best tires at the cheapest price, you go to Shaw Bills, and they'll show you. You can go to the website, and you can see how they combine the manufacturer's offer with their in-house offer to get you the best price possible. They guarantee it. It's part of Charlie's Dozen. It's the price match guarantee. Buy tires at Shaw Bills. See them advertised cheaper somewhere else. They'll refund you 125% of the difference. It's Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills. We keep you rolling. By the way, I'm completely joking about Charles Bediako. Like, it's absurd that he's still playing college basketball. Absurd. And by the way, I am the biggest extremist when it comes to transfer whenever, make however much money you want, all that sort of stuff. There's nobody in this space more extreme than me that's pro player. You can be on par with me, but nobody's more extreme than me. Even I think Charles Bediako playing college basketball right now is ridiculous in every way. Like, if there's years of eligibility that you have that makes logical sense, and you can make money and transfer and like, okay, I'm good with all that. But if you leave and go play professional sports, you can't come back. It's like in Field of Dreams. When Archie walks over the rocks and becomes the old man, you can't go back. It's done. Go whack the little girl on the back so she spits up the hot dog and save her. And it was for a good thing. But you can't go back. It's over. Hey, Moonlight, you walked over the rocks. It's done, all right? Get your ass back in the G League and try to make it. Or do what we all do and go get a real job. Except for me, I don't have a real job. I just talk about sports. All right, it's after further review. We'll wrap up hour number 1 when we come back. It's our final Olympic update. How bad did the U.S. whip foreigners' behinds? We're about to find out next. Stay far.
After further review.
Man, big shout out to David over at Rev. That dude was at Casa de Scone for like 9 hours on Friday doing our install. Awesome dude. Hit a few roadblocks, no fault of his own, but super professional, great attitude, worked so hard, was so polite around the family, got everything done, was awesome. Rev's fantastic. So we went through that process on Friday. We switched everything because they finally got to our neighborhood and laid fiber in our neighborhood. So we have the all-fiber internet. We got cable, home phone. Yes, we have a landline. Eric insists on having a landline. I think it's ridiculous, but I don't get to make those decisions. You learn, you pick your battles. That's not one I'm going to fight. She wants a landline. She can have a landline. And Rev will get you a landline if that's what you want. Home or business, 70,000 Louisiana homeowners and business owners trust Rev. We do, and you should be next. REV. Let's Rev.com. Let's Rev.com.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
I have no doubt that Our Lady of the Lake will keep me healthy. They make sure to do whatever they can in their power to make sure that we are 100%. They're constantly giving us resources, giving us advice on what to do. I think that just really helps us be the best players that we can be.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
If your office is experiencing performance performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Wrapping up hour number one. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Hey, real quick, tomorrow, we've done this for the last 5 years now. Tomorrow is the annual S&P Rare Whiskey Raffle, S&P Food Store in Baton Rouge. Shout out to my guy, KP. They have very generously made St. Lillian Academy, that's my son Drew's, it's a special needs school in Baton Rouge where my son attends, and they made St. Lillian one of the beneficiaries along with Baton Rouge Ancient Athlete Society. So the raffle will be at Fred's in Tigerland tomorrow at 6:30, so I'll get off air here. I'll jet straight over to Fred's. We'll fire up a live stream, and it's, if you know how rare whiskey raffles work, you buy tickets. If we draw your ticket, it gives you the opportunity to purchase these rare whiskey bottles at suggested retail price. So, and all the money from the ticket sales goes to the charity. So, the more tickets you buy, the more tickets you get. So, for example, it's $10 a ticket, or you can get a dozen tickets for $100, or 25 tickets for $200, and so on. So, anyway, so the raffle's tomorrow at 6:30. Fred's in Tigerland. You're welcome to come out to Fred's in Tigerland. It'll be a great time over there. Or you can watch it on the live stream. It'll be on my personal YouTube and Facebook account. We'll make sure we tag Fred's and S&P on those as well. You don't have to be present to win. You don't have to live. Well, I guess you don't have to live in Louisiana, but someone has to go pick up the bottle for you. But in any event, it's a great opportunity. Even if you don't win the opportunity to purchase a bottle, you're benefiting a great charity. So we'd really appreciate the support. The link for tickets is on their Facebook page. I've got it pinned on my Twitter as well. So lots of different ways you can get it. I just sent it on the text line. So any support would be very much appreciated. Very, very much appreciated. Okay, it is after further review. All right, the Olympic Games ended. Really weird closing ceremonies yesterday. Let's do our final Olympic update. Hit it, Buse, if you would. I don't know what that was, the closing ceremony.
Opera.
It was opera. It's a weird thing.
It was opera.
I mean, I wasn't really watching.
Opera's weird.
I had the baseball game on my phone. Yes, I spent the $30. To all you cheap tightwads out there complaining about not being able to watch the game. $30, you dorks. Spend the $30 and watch the game, you dorks. Anyway.
So the Olympic Games, the Winter Olympic Games closed on Sunday, as Scone just said, and closed in awesome, dramatic fashion for Team USA. Arguably the most anticipated event of the games was the United States men's hockey team taking on Canada in the gold medal match and knocking them off in overtime 2-1.
Go, go, USA!
There it is.
Here's how it sounded on NBC.
And it's Werenski. Now Jack Hughes puts it around McCarr. United States with numbers. Back across it comes. Jack Hughes wins it. The golden goal for the United States. For the first time since the 1980 miracle, the United States takes the gold.
Awesome moment, obviously, for Jack Hughes, who took a stick to the face earlier in the game. You've probably seen his smile all across social media in the last 24 hours after winning that game for U.S. Great outing as well by the goaltender, Connor Hellebuck. 41 saves, legendary stuff. With that gold medal, the United States finished with 12 gold medals, the most they have ever won in a single Olympic game, a single Winter Olympic Games. Their 33 overall medals were the most.
Go, go, USA!
Go, USA!
They whipped all the foreigners except for the Norwegians.
I mean,
yeah.
Norway's as big as Louisiana. It's ridiculous. That Louisiana beat the rest of the United States, effectively. That's what happened.
It is. That's the final Olympic update. See you in 2028.
That's all you got? Nothing else happened yesterday? It was just the hockey match
was
yesterday?
It.
That was literally the only game. What about Friday and Saturday? Got it.
Trying to think. Hold on.
Probably should have been done beforehand. Not live.
Well, I mean, I went through all the numbers with the, their performances.
Friday we did an
thought that was
Olympic
more.
update. We should have got one from Saturday and Sunday from what happened. Just hit the Go USA guy one more time.
Go USA!
So good.
Ian Dark, shout out.
I mean, one of the most absurd broadcast moments in the history of international sports. It's after further review.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com, LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Hey, if you're thinking of popping the question, we do have Holy Matrimony coming up here soon with Muso's wedding. And he's going to get his engagement ring there at Lee Michaels. He's going to thrill her with a gift in the red box any day now for matrimony. It's certain to be an award-winning promotion. In any event, if you are thinking of popping the question, there's no better place with a better selection and better prices than Lee Michaels. Maybe you're already married. Maybe it's an anniversary you have coming up, or maybe it's a birthday or any type of special occasion. Gents, if you want to thrill her, you'll always do that with a gift in the red box with an amazing selection and prices for any budget. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Check out any of the 9 locations or find them online at lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Parrish, we take pride in building roofs that last. Because in Louisiana, toughness isn't just on the court, it's in your home too.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
Want to play baseball or softball like the pros? Then join me this Thursday at Marucci's Hitter's House on Seagan. We'll be broadcasting AFR live, so come take some hacks in the cages and meet our friends over at Marucci, the official bat of Major League Baseball at Marucci's Hitter's House.
The Cane's Box Combo, a symphony of flavors. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Cowboys, when it comes to receiver George Pickens, are leaning toward using the franchise tag on the 24-year-old. According to the team's executive vice president, Stephen Jones, Pickens coming off a career year. The franchise tag figure for a receiver, $28 million. From ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, the Falcons plan to franchise tag tight end Kyle Pitts. Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson, viewed as the number 2 QB in this draft class, plans to throw this week at the NFL Combine. The presumed top overall pick, Fernando Mendoza, will not throw. ESPN NFL analyst Jason McCourty.
When you look at draft prospects, when it comes to the Combine, when you don't have to go out and do something, there's nothing wrong with pulling back. For Mendoza, I think it could only hurt him at this point of throwing at the Combine. He seems to be the consensus first overall pick, and I think even beyond that, there's nobody in contention of really being a top 5 pick at this point at the quarterback position.
Kevin Durant, Rockets forward, 4-time gold medalist and the U.S. men's all-time leading scorer in Olympic competition, told ESPN he plans to play in the Summer Games in Los Angeles in 2028.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Tuesday, the NFL Combine is here, and I'll tell you which players I'm paying the most attention to this week. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR. Presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt.
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tom play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. T-Dub, Todd Walker, be here in about 13 minutes from right now. William Schmidt in 1 hour. Great outing for the sophomore from Cali High. Need more of that, man. 5 innings. He was awesome. 7 strikeouts, just 1 walk. If we see that consistently from William Schmidt this year, LSU may very well end up having the best rotation in the country. Cooper Moore was consistent again. Very nice job by Kason Evans on Friday to rebound after a shaky third to get through 5 and continue rolling along. We're a couple of weeks away from the start of conference play. So talk some baseball at T-Dub in about 15 minutes, and then, of course, William Schmidt in 1 hour. We are 7 months away from LSU Clemson. I don't think you need a 7-month preview, and I'm not going to do that here. When there are relevant things to that game, we'll talk about them. Certainly we'll have a lot to talk about when spring practice opens in about a month from right now, and it'll be great to see Lane Kiffin's team out there on the field for the first time in the Kiffin era, even if we don't have a ton of access. But again, there's going to be instances where there's things worth talking about, and I think this is one of them. So, there were some sports books have started to post some early look-ahead lines. This is a common thing, right? For some of the premier non-conference games, week 1, the week 0, week 1 games. And I sincerely hope that these marquee season openers are a thing that stick around in college football. It gives you great theater in the opening week instead of a bunch of bloodbaths that nobody really wants to see. But naturally, one of the games that these odds makers are providing look-ahead lines for is LSU and Clemson. I mean, it's probably the most marquee game of the opening weekend. They got NC State against Virginia, North Carolina, TCU, Baylor, Auburn. By the way, Auburn 7.5 over Baylor. That's interesting. Make or break year for Dave Aranda. See, game 1 of the Alex Golish era. So that's interesting. And UCLA, Cal on there. I'm trying to see what else. Wisconsin, Notre Dame 16.5. Ohio State, Texas, down in Austin, 2.5 for the home-standing Longhorns. Well, the one that's probably the most interesting here, that is the most interesting here, of course, is LSU and Clemson. And, man, the odds makers have this early look-ahead line at LSU minus 11.5. 11.5. 11.5. I mean, you figure 3 points for home field advantage. I mean, this is an incredibly lopsided number. And I don't know if that is more of a compliment to LSU, Lane Kiffin, his offensive prowess, the transfer portal class they signed, the job they did retaining their key targets, or if that's more of an indictment on Dabo Swinney and what's happened at Clemson. I'll remind you that Clemson for 2025, we spent a lot of time previewing that game in 2025. Clemson had 11 preseason first-team All-ACC members. So you got 22 preseason first-teamers for the entire league, 11 on offense, 11 on defense. Clemson had 11 of them. They had half the preseason first-team All-ACC last year. Remember, they were coming off a playoff appearance where they made the playoffs in 2024, lost. They were coming back, Kate Klubnik back, all the guys I just talked about. Tons of expectation, preseason top 10. Some had projected to win the national championship. This year, going into this season, remember last year they had 11 preseason first-team All-ACC members. This year they have 7 total starters returning. So they lost a ton. Peter Woods, Avion Terrell, TJ Parker, Antonio Williams, Cade Klubnik, 3 starting offensive linemen are gone. Adam Randall, remember the receiver that moved to running back and started running back this year. Wade Wood as their starting linebacker. Like, all those dudes are gone. They returned 7 total starters. Now, Wesco and Moore, 2 receivers, are back. Will Helt, remember the defensive end who transferred from Purdue last year to Clemson? He's returning this season as well. He was like the first real big portal ad of the Dabo era. So you got a few guys back, but by and large, they lose everything from this super talented team. And you could look at LSU and say, well, LSU lost everything from their super talented team as well, which is true. However, LSU went and signed the greatest transfer portal class ever. Now, we got about a 5-year sample, but still, overwhelmingly, the greatest, deepest, most talented transfer portal class ever. It's paid a lot for it. Clemson's portal class was ranked 67th. 67th. They lost 14 guys to the portal and only added 10. I mean, I look at this and I say, I think there's a lot of there's going to be a lot of expectation around LSU, naturally, because of Kiffin and everything associated. But I also believe as big a part of that number being what it is rooted in the expectation that Clemson is not going to be very good this year. I mean, transfer portal class ranking 67th, y'all. 67th. You're Clemson, man. And they actually went and signed 10 guys. I mean, last year was the first time at all Dabo ever went into the portal. I mean, just look at where they are at 67. One spot ahead of Clemson in the portal rankings is Washington State at 66. Washington State don't even have a conference. I think they do now, but you understand my point. North Texas is 65. Working your way up, Iowa, Boston College, Wake Forest, UCF, Iowa State, Illinois, TCU, Duke, Syracuse. All these programs have better portal classes than Clemson, who's losing all the dudes that made them a preseason top 10 team this past year. Whew. It still feels like a lot of points. But it's really, I think, more of an indictment on what Clemson is projected to be this year under Dabo Swinney, which could very well be his last year at Clemson, given the way that thing has just eroded and his unwillingness and or inability to evolve. I also think that game is going to be a madhouse in Tiger Stadium. When you just look at all of the ingredients of that game, big name opponent, opener of the Lane Kiffin era with so much excitement around that. Verge Osbury was here a week ago on Tuesday and told us that they've got a season ticket waiting list of 44,000, 98% season ticket renewals, and they got a waiting list of 44,000 for season tickets. The most it had ever been prior was 17,000. It's insane. There's an extra 30,000 people on the season ticket waiting list than you've ever had before at its highest. Yeah, it's going to be a massive day. When you just think about past home openers, LSU's had a lot of marquee openers, but most of them have been neutral site. Just if you look at Power 5 home openers, or now Power 4 home openers, Mississippi State in the COVID year. Home opener in 2015 was Auburn. That's because, remember, they opened at home against McNeese, but the game got canceled because of lightning. Remember, we're all in the stadium, and they delayed it and got canceled. In 2010, they opened at home against Mississippi State, but it was week 3. So they played North Carolina and Atlanta. Week 2 played in Nashville against Vanderbilt. Then week 3, they were at home against Mississippi State. 2009, the home opener was Vandy. But 2007, the home opener against Virginia Tech. Remember, they opened at Mississippi State on a Thursday night and then came home to play Virginia Tech in that home opener in 2007 and blew the doors off of Sean Glennon and those guys. This has got to be the most anticipated home opener since 2007. I mean, you're talking 20 years. So it's going to be a madhouse in Tiger Stadium that day. And LSU, especially if they're a giant favorite, what a frenzy that'll be. LSU's going to have a lot of questions this year. Sam Leavitt's health is going to be a big part of it. The offensive line continuity as you're replacing that entire unit, that entire room, save Braylon Moore, and we'll see how Weston Davis factors in. Your special teams is another thing that they're going to have to certainly answer. You're replacing Damian Ramos, the program's all-time leading scorer. You're replacing Barrion Brown and Xavier Thomas, your returner. So, I mean, there's questions. They got talent everywhere. There's questions. But as of now, anyway, and get on it. You think that number is going to keep going up, get on it. But LSU, 11.5 is the early number, if you can find the line somewhere. All right, it's after further review. Todd Walker's coming up here in a second. We are brought to you by Supper Club. Hey, I was talking to Chef Layton over at Supper Club on Friday, and he wanted me to remind you, it's a good point, I'm glad he did. He wanted me to remind you that, we talk so much about their steaks at Supper Club, and with great reason. I mean, they're phenomenal. It's really what they're known for. They have so many other seafood options that are amazing. I mean, the George's Bank scallops are their large sea scallops. It comes with usually 3 to 4 scallops, seasoned with salt and pepper. They're cooked to perfection, served on a bed of celery root puree. I mean, also heirloom tomatoes and fried capers. The Chilean sea bass, the Ora King salmon. They've got Alaskan king crab legs right now as well. Y'all, if you're thinking about Lent, Friday and Lent, and maybe you're not going to do Supper Club because you don't want a steak, awesome. Go to Supper Club and get one of their incredible seafood options. It's Supper Club. Yes, known for their steaks, and rightfully so. But my goodness, are their seafood options off the chart. Don't shy away this Lent. Book your reservation at Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com. Okay, y'all, it is after further review. We're going to knock out a quick break. Todd Walker is going to join us next. We'll get a reaction to the LSU baseball weekend, but also a look around the conference. Saw what happened to Tennessee this weekend. We'll talk about it with T-Dub next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Well. Thought old Jack Frost had packed up and gone away to the North Pole for the rest of the year. Nope. Not so lucky. Temps will be in the 30s tonight. Going to crank up that heater again? If you have issues with it, call River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com. Listen, it doesn't matter if it's your heater or your AC as we start to move toward the spring months. I mean, look, we had temps in the 80s last week, and now we're going in the 30s. It's weird. Our weather's schizophrenic. So no matter what, if you need to be comfortable in your home, heater or AC, remember River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. River City's 1 hour air.
It's 2026 and you're thinking about your future. College, workforce, tech school? This could help clear it up for you. According to a 2025 Georgetown University study, ITI Technical College ranked as the #1 college in all of Louisiana for return on investment. So the better return on your dollar for your education begins here. Call us or visit us online to start your new career or to get the life that you've always wanted for your family. ITI Technical College. We're in the better life business.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. No, the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful...
It's my pleasure to tell you about River Parish Contractors. And as we've told you about our partnership with our great new sponsor, one of the things that really differentiates River Parish Contractors is the fact that they fabricate and install fabricate in-house. So if you're an engineer, for example, they can meet your schedule. So when do you need it done by? That's when they'll have it done by. So you can have great pricing in that world, but you got to meet the client's schedule. On-time delivery date is the key for River Parish Contractors, and they control it because they fabricate it themselves. Right there in reserve, it's River Parish Contractors. If you want to learn more, rpcontractors.com, rpcontractors.com, or just go to the shop. It's open 24/7, and they're an hour from anywhere. rpcontractors.com for River Parish Contractors.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and we do shutters too.
Two weekends of the college baseball season in the rearview mirror. Our buddy Todd Walker, SEC Network, LSU legend, good enough to hang out with us here for a couple minutes. T-Dub, what up, man?
Not much. How are you, Matt?
I'm doing great. When you watch LSU 8-0, would you say you're more encouraged or impressed by the offense or by what the pitching staff's done so far?
It's hard to even monitor, right? I mean, you know, they've scored 10 runs or more in 6 of the 8 games. So then you start thinking about who they're playing. There have been some good early schedules. Arkansas has played some tough teams. Oklahoma has. 6 teams in the SEC are undefeated right now. So, you know, it's hard to kind of gauge at this point. But we all knew prior to the SEC conference schedule, you know, you're going to have a handful of teams that are undefeated or 1-loss, 2-loss type deal, 16-1, 17-2. So the offense has been extremely impressive, but you know, it's not surprising to me. I knew that was going to happen, and then, you know, they might have to figure out a little bit on the mound. They've started Zach Cowan. He's only had 2 innings, but I see him as a setup guy for Gavin Guidry at the end. You know, so you got a really strong. You can shorten the game to 6 innings. You know, with those 2 on the back end. Cooper Moore's not going anywhere. He's been fantastic. Cason Evans, you know, remember he had a big second half, so Cason Evans might get it going here. But I like Willie Schmidt at the top too. I think Schmidt's going to be great for him this year. He's going to learn as he goes. He had a lot of experience last year, so I feel like the rotation's kind of set, and even if they have to limit those guys, or they get beat up early, the bullpen's so strong that I think they're fairly confident, in Rizzi and the rest of those guys that they can fill the gaps.
It's hard to find a weakness. Do you see one or a question that you think they still need to answer?
Aaron Beatty's been good. That was a question mark early.
Yeah.
You got a new battery. In addition to sticking him in the middle of the lineup, how's he going to perform offensively? He's been really good. Gosh, man, it's going to be hard to answer that question every year. Like I've told you before, with the transfer rule still in place where you can go anywhere in the country, everybody wants to be at LSU. They got big leaguers sitting the bench. They're going to always be stacked. The question I have is back to when you and I talked last time, like, are we still thinking that this year's roster is better than any roster that Jay has ever had? I went back and looked at 2023. They don't have a Paul Skeens on this staff. Ty Floyd was unbelievable. Do they have a Dylan Cruz this year? So, they're great. And it's baseball. At the end of the season, you get surprised in one game, and then because of that, you lose your confidence in game two. You lose two at the end, you're out. So It is baseball, but man, they're loaded.
The way I've said it, Todd, they certainly don't have a Skeens or a Cruz. I'm not sure any LSU team will ever have that combination again. I think they're deeper than any team Jay has had. Remember that team in 23 had a lot of program guys that played key roles: Beloso, Dugas, Pearson.
Trey Morgan. I wouldn't say he's a program guy, is he?
Look, and Tommy White was on that team. I'm not saying they were void of star talent, right?
Yeah.
This team, I look across the board and I go, I feel like any of those guys could push to be in the show. And like you just said it, they got big leaguers sitting the bench. It's going to be fun to watch this team throughout. By the way, are you a believer in Oklahoma yet?
Yeah, I like Skip, man. Skip Johnson does a great job over there. They're not ever going to be overly offensive, nor are they going to get a big crowd to kind of get them in it, and get them excited. Remember, they played Ole Miss for the national championship in 22. That stadium in Omaha was 95% Ole Miss fans. So, they kind of lack in excitement in Oklahoma, but the Trey Gamble's kid's off to a big start, 6 for 11. Camden Johnson, the Wichita State transfer, is good. But I really like Skip. The side note on him, he's like a professional bowler. The coach at Oklahoma, Skip, like he's bowled like 300 games in his life, and he's got rings, and so it's kind of a cool story.
On the other side of the spectrum, the pleasant surprise being Oklahoma with their start. How about Tennessee? They lose a series to Kent this weekend. Give me your level, I would say level of concern, but just a reaction to what's going on there in Knoxville now without Tony V, which is going to be a very obvious storyline to follow.
Yeah, Josh Elander was under Tony V for a lot of years, so he kind of knows the culture, although you can't recreate, like you and I talked about earlier, the excitement level I think that Tony Vitello brought, good and bad. I don't know that they recruited great. They lost Liam Doyle, one of the best in the country, next to Cade Anderson last year at LSU, one of the strikeout leaders in the country. Tegan Coons takes over as their ace. He had a 5.5 ERA last year. So he's better. He's been good this year in his 2 starts. Landon Mack kid they got over there is doing well on the mound. Henry Ford was a Virginia transfer, and my thoughts on all these Virginia transfers coming into the SEC is if Brian O'Connor didn't want them at Mississippi State, then, how good are they? Although Henry Ford's been really great early in this year. So they got some parts, but they're not going to be the Tennessee from, the national championship in 24.
I'm glad you brought up Brian O'Connor. That's another one that you and I talked about before the season started. So, again, small sample, early, but what do you make of Mississippi State here with O'Connor in the early going? Another series sweep this weekend.
So one of the transfers they did bring from Virginia, Brian, was that Valencia's kid. He's been fantastic this year. And, of course, again, it's just 2 starts for all these starters. They got a great rotation with Duke Stone and Ryan McPherson. They've been really good. Ace Reese, their best hitter from last year, is just going ballistic this year, 15 for 30. He's killing it. And opposite of what we said about Oklahoma, as we all know, the excitement's there in Starkville. So, they can play off of that. When you go into Starkville to play a weekend series against them, it's very difficult. Sullivan, the right-hand pitcher they have, is back. So State has some pieces, and I really like Brian O'Connor. We talked about him last time we talked too, and 22 seasons at Virginia, won the national championship in 2015. I think he's going to do really well.
Todd Walker for a couple more minutes with us. Recap of the weekend that was in SEC baseball. T-Dub, it's like the sample's small, and sometimes the competition is lopsided and one-sided. Is there anything else right now through 2 weekends that you look at as particularly an interesting team or storyline that's starting to develop here, 8 games in?
Ole Miss, they're undefeated, and they brought most of their pitching back. Will Liebert, the transfer from Missouri, has been great. Townsend, the return guy, has been great. And really, they're what's supposed to be best in the country type talent, Hunter Elliott, has been their third best starter. So if he gets it going, Ole Miss is going to be hard to deal with. The Judd Utermark kid is ridiculously good, and they've got some offensive pieces around him. And, of course, Mike Bianco, the most tenured coach in the SEC. I think he's been at Ole Miss 26 years or something like that, and came from up under Skip Bertman at LSU. He was my third base coach when I was at LSU. So really like Mike Bianco and that group at Ole Miss.
But the Aggies trying to bounce back after missing the postseason a year ago. What do you think so far through 2 weekends?
Yeah, I mean they're good, not great. Aiden Sims has been good. Sadeo, who they had last year and had a lot of high hopes for last year, was hurt and out of 2025. The lefty, he's really good. The offensive, guys with Grahovac, who missed last year, he was hurt too. But remember his freshman year, he went nuts. He was a great offensive piece. Sorrell. So they've got some offensive guys over there, and they're undefeated right now in the season. Michael Early was his second, third year, whatever it is.
Second.
A&M's going to be tough, but we can say that about most teams in the SEC, right? I mean, 11 of the 16 SEC teams had a 500 record or better in the schedule, so that's 15 wins in the conference. And if you're saying that about the SEC, any given weekend you can beat somebody.
The Tigers are going to play McNeese on Tuesday. Then they have a round robin this weekend with Dartmouth and Northeastern. They'll play 4 games. They'll play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. A couple more weekends before they open up conference play in Nashville against Vanderbilt. Anything that in particular, Todd, that you'd like to see this week for LSU, or maybe a player that you'd like to see this weekend?
You talking about for LSU?
Yeah,
or Vandy?
I'm sorry, for LSU as they kind of make it through these next couple weeks.
You just like the consistency on the mound, right? I mean, I think the team, and again, it's funny to even talk stats right now, but the team ERA at LSU is over 4. Like, you want that number to be at this point down below 2.
Yeah.
So I don't know about their rotation, but right now, Nate Yeske, I'm a big believer in, so he'll get that all figured out. But you'd like to see more consistency on the mound. They're not walking a ton of people, so I got all kinds of stuff going on here.
Was that an alarm? What kind of alarm you got going off at 4:28?
Radio show. Dude, I got alarms going nuts right here on my phone because otherwise I'll never rember, that I got to pick up the phone. And then I got a person starting a motorcycle right beside me. So,
where are you,
bro? All kind of drama. But back to your original question, the offense is great. We know that 1 through 9. Typically a team has 6 good hitters, and then you got 3 that the opposing pitcher can relax on. You can't do that at LSU with the LSU hitters 1 through 9. So I think the only question mark to your question would be, can we be real consistent and dominant on the mound? I mean, you're talking about a team that's led the nation in strikeouts the last 2 years. That's not going to happen this year. But you'd like to see a lot more swing and misses.
By the way, your phone must be awesome because I didn't even hear the motorcycle start. That's incredible.
Oh, I went over there and kicked it over.
I wouldn't recommend that, Todd. I mean, unless if you know the guy who owns the motorcycle.
That's right. I do.
Hey, man, we always appreciate the time. Thanks. We'll catch up soon down the road.
All right, man. Thanks, bud.
All right, be well. Todd Walker, always appreciate the insight. 2 weekends before here in the pre-conference, 2 more before they begin SEC play. Of course, the Tigers will play their round robin this weekend. They got Sacramento State next weekend, and then they'll open up conference play at Vandy. Boy, you want to talk about a program that seemingly has fallen from grace. I shouldn't say fallen from grace, but Vandy, who was pretty consistently a national contender, NIL has just kind of leveled the playing field. Vandy had this incredible advantage for so many years as a private school that didn't have to abide by the 11.7 because they would just give academic scholarships to their athletes. And so they weren't beholden to the 11.7. It was their competitive advantage. And, like we talked about for years here in Louisiana, TOPS became a really big advantage for LSU because there would be in-state players who could get TOPS and go to LSU for free. And so that 11.7 could stretch further. That's just irrelevant now. So in the NIL transfer portal era, rev share era. So it's more about what is going to be your financial commitment to baseball to building your roster. And I don't know necessarily if Vanderbilt has regressed. I just don't know the answer to that, like how much they're investing in baseball. But it could very well be that everyone else has been able to elevate to catch up to that advantage Vanderbilt has, which has sort of leveled the playing field against them. So, in any event, LSU will open up conference play against Vandy here in a couple of weeks. All right, it's after further review. Appreciate Todd Walker for joining us. We're always brought to you by Evamore, EVAMOR, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. You know, I've programmed some of you, and I enjoy that very much. Shout out to Michael, who shared this GIF on Twitter, GIF, whatever you want to call it. 64-ounce bottle number 2, loading right there. Made it a GIF of him holding an Evamore bottle. So always encourage you, man. Drink Evamore, natural artesian water, a healthier form of hydration, and a Louisiana product. So EVAMOR, Evamore.com, Evamore.com, EVAMOR, Evamore.com. You can go to the website. You can find retailers near you that sell Evamore. Remember, they got national distribution. So even if you're watching or listening outside of Baton Rouge or outside of Louisiana, still go to the website, see if you can find Evamore near you. And if they don't have it at a retailer near you, go demand that they carry it. Or you can order it online at Evamore.com, EVAMOR, Evamore.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. We're halfway home here on a Monday. William Schmidt in 30 minutes from right now. We'll talk to the LSU sophomore righty. When we come back, Cam Jordan talked about his future in New Orleans. What might a deal for Cam look like? We'll scratch that surface next on AFR.
AFR.
GLO. GlowResources.com. GlowResources.com. Complete employer solutions. If you're looking to fill that tough to find role within your business, let Glow Resources help. Jareth Knockan and the gang, they built an awesome business. Of course, awarded one of the top 100 private businesses in Baton Rouge in the Business Report a year ago. So impressive to watch their growth into really not only a national but international leader over at Glow Resources, and they do help fill jobs all over the country and all over the world. I mean, I just looked at this post on their Facebook, and there's these consecutive posts as they're now hiring posts. One is a CNC machinist programmer in northern Baton Rouge, and like literally the next post is for a fiber optic pipeline project in Reno and Carson City, Nevada. So wherever you are, you need to find the right people. Glow Resources can help. GLO, glowresources.com.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Lockmair to Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lockmair to Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
March Madness is heading to Vegas, and LouisianaSports.net is sending one of you plus a friend with it. We're giving away a 3-night Las Vegas getaway from Wednesday, March 18th through Saturday, March 21st, just in time to watch all the madness. Hotel stay and flights are covered, and all you have to do to enter is head to LouisianaSports.net and click the March Madness getaway link. Sign up now before our March Madness Pick'em launches. Get yourself entered, and you could be watching the tournament from Vegas instead of your couch. The winner will be announced on Monday, March 2nd.
William Schmidt will be here in about 25 minutes from right now. Combine getting underway in Indy this week, and then as you sort of progress through the NFL offseason, the next step will be the start of the league year, which means free agency. You'll have your legal tampering period, and then free agency will open. And there's going to be some veteran free agents that we'll all keep an eye on. Obviously, whatever happens with Chris Olave's contract, do they extend him? Alontae Taylor will be the most notable, along with Cameron Jordan, Demario Davis, the names we've talked a good bit about so far. And the Cam conversation is interesting, very different, in my opinion, from Demario Davis, because you're talking about guys that are kind of at different levels of productivity. Cam had a very productive season this year, but also that was 1 year after 3 declining seasons. And then it's fair to ask if this is an outlier, whereas Demario has just continued to have career years. The last 2 years have been the 2 best years of his career statistically. So I think we are kind of having different conversations about those two guys. But Cam Jordan, almost like we talked about with the Todd Graves audio that leaked a week ago about from the Super Bowl, where he was talking about potentially being an owner of the Saints one day. Well, this was Cam Jordan with TMZ, and kind of talked about his contract and his wants there.
We put together a 10-sack season. If I was 26, I'd be asking for top dollar. And things I've never asked for is top dollar. All I've asked for is to be valued.
Said, I've never asked for top dollar. All I've ever asked for is to be valued. Also, talked about his productivity.
I look at guys like Calais Campbell, who still want play another year. Yeah, I've seen my guy Demario Davis, who's a little bit older than me, still put in his best season yet. Man, I think there's always room for growth.
There's truth to that, but the difference in the comp, as we just said, is the level of productivity with Cam. So, just to add some color here to illustrate, okay? For many years, Cam Jordan's hallmark was that he quite literally never came off the field. He would play every defensive snap. Well, in the last 3 seasons, that has changed. So in 2023, Cam Jordan played 770 of a possible 1,108 snaps. It was 69.4%. So a guy who went from playing 99% of the team's defensive snaps, in 2023, that number dipped to 69.4%. And then in 2024, it went even lower to 48%. This year, it ticked up a smidge to 53.6%. But that's really more of a product of the total number of snaps. For example, this past season, he played 589 snaps. In 2024, he played 565. So really a difference of about 20, 25 snaps. But basically, if I was just to boil it down, Cam Jordan went from playing every snap where he never came off the field for a decade to playing about 70% of the snaps, still with declining productivity, to then the Saints adding Chase Young and extending Carl Granderson to a big contract, and Cam Jordan basically playing half the defensive snaps. And in 2024, that didn't go very well for Cam Jordan. In 2024, playing half the defensive snaps, he played in all 17 games, but had a total of 34 tackles. He had 4 sacks on the season. In 2023, when he played 75% of the snaps, he had 43 tackles and just 2 sacks. So you're talking about declining productivity. So just the pass rush numbers, in 2021, he went from 12.5 sacks to 8.5 to 2 to 4. To this year, boom, he ticked up to 10.5. And so if you're the Saints and you're looking at Cam, who, by the way, is going to turn 37 years old in July. So he's 36. He'll turn 37 in July. You ask yourself, was this season an outlier for Cam? Or did he figure something out in this Brandon Staley defense, playing 50% of the defensive snaps, that's going to help him continue to be a productive player? Well, I think there's a couple of things here, though, that work in the Saints' favor for Cam to return. First of all, you've already got Chase Young and Carl Granderson under contract, and you very well could add an edge rusher, probably will add an edge rusher somewhere in the draft to provide some young depth at that position. Okay? We thought Isaiah Foskey was going to be that when the Saints a couple of years ago used a second-round pick on him. We got cut last year, wasn't even on the roster. So they'll probably somewhere in the mix find a way to draft a young edge rusher. I don't know if it'll be 8 overall. Depends maybe on who's on the board. But somewhere they're going to take a young edge rusher. The other thing that works against Cam Jordan, ESPN has a piece today that looks at every position and sort of like what the value is in this upcoming free agent class, sort of in tiers. And so the number one, like, best position, as they said, the deepest position in this year's draft and free agency class is edge rusher. So you're looking at a situation where Cam Jordan is going to be 37. He's playing roughly half the defensive snaps. The 3 years prior to 2025, he had declining production over 3 years. Had a tick up this year, but it's fair to ask, is that consistent or is that an outlier? And he's going into a market that is just saturated at his position with younger, more productive players. All that to say, I just don't think that there's going to be a market for Cam Jordan outside of New Orleans. At least there's not going to be a market where a team is going to be willing to pay him more or give him a longer-term deal than what he's going to be offered in New Orleans. Now, one of the things that we talk about often, and I like to pull this up, is Spotrac has their projected sort of market value tool. So this is a website, if you haven't seen it, that effectively looks at salary caps and numbers and the finances of these professional sports teams. And so if you look at the projected sort of contract market value, the calculated market value for Cam Jordan, they project a 1-year, $6.76 million contract. So basically $6.8 million for 1 year. that is really digestible for New Orleans. You're not having to commit a long-term deal to a player that's, before last year, declining consistently over 3 years and 37 years old. And $6.7 million is a very, I'll use that term again, digestible number for Cam Jordan for a year. Now, if there's a team somewhere in the NFL that wants to pop and give him, a 2-year, $12 million fully guaranteed deal where he's going to get multiple years of guaranteed money and double that number, then respect, you let Cam Jordan leave and he'll go play his final season or seasons somewhere else. But in a year in the NFL where the edge rusher market is so saturated, I just don't know that there is going to be that market for Cam Jordan. So if the Saints, and I'd put it to you this way, if the Saints are seriously not, think of it this way. If the Saints are seriously considering not paying DeMario Davis, a guy who has actually in the last 2 years had his 2 most productive seasons and still is playing 99% of the defensive snaps. Like DeMario Davis, we told you last week, missed 19 snaps all season. DeMario Davis missed 19 snaps all season, had his most productive season of his career, and the Saints are really contemplating not re-signing DeMario Davis. Then there's no argument to be had at all for giving Cam Jordan a lucrative multi-year contract. Like if you're going to pay one of these guys, it would be DeMario. So all that to say, I think Cam Jordan is going to be back on a very affordable deal because the Saints would love to have him back. I think he would love to be back. I think market value is very digestible for Cam, unless if he has an idea that's much bigger than what he thinks it should be. And I just don't think in a saturated edge rusher market in free agency in the draft this year that there's going to be a lot of robust offers for Cam Jordan. So I would sort of anticipate that Cam Jordan will be back in New Orleans for another season. DeMario Davis, that feels like that's going to be a little more challenging. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, arco.com. Hey, whenever power goes out, critical infrastructure needs to come on at your commercial, industrial facility, you need Arco Power Systems. You hear so many people in this part of the country, we're sort of in this hurricane, alley. Like, what do you do when the power goes out or the storm's coming? Well, people have home standby generators. What do you do for your business? Well, that's Arco. This is not for your home. This is for your business, your commercial building, your industrial facility, for government municipalities. And everything they do is turnkey. They can sell, service, install, rent you Generac industrial standby generators. So look them up online at arco.com. It's ARCCO, 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 arco.com, arco.com, arco.com. Go to the website. Again, I tell you all the time, but north to Little Rock, east to Mobile, west to San Antonio, draw a giant circle. If you're anywhere in that footprint, Arco can help. ARCCO for Arco Power Systems, arco.com. All right, well, it is After Further Review. Glad you're with us. William Schmidt in 15 minutes. Talk to the LSU sophomore pitcher. Speaking of the Saints, I also want to talk about the possibility of the Saints adding a former LSU Tiger in free agency and a guy that I really legitimately think they should target that's going to be affordable at a gigantic position of need. We're going to get to that here in about 30 minutes from right now. All right, let me knock out a break. Come back. Muse to do Tigers and the Pros to wrap up hour number 2. Presented by Relief Windows next.
AFR.
Hey, if you're thinking of selling your home, you first have to know what your home is worth. Whether you're listing it by yourself or you're hiring a realtor. I mean, you have to realistically know if you're going to go buy a new home, and buying a new home requires selling your home. Well, what can you sell your home for? What's it worth? Well, Darren James can help with that, and it's totally free. Go to agent225.com, agent225.com. That's agent225.com. Do it right now. Like, seriously, do it right now. Get out your phone. If you own your home, or wherever you live, even if you rent, you're just curious what your home's worth, go to agent225.com, hit the home value tool. It's on the home page, bottom right on desktop. If you're on mobile, just scroll and you'll see where it says home value on the home page. Just scroll. Just type in the address. That's all you have to do. Type in the address, hit enter. It'll use local market data to give you an accurate number of what your home is worth today. Agent225.com, agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
I think sometimes when I send texts out on the show text line, people get confused. This guy said, his name's Jordan. I sent the link for the S&P Rare Whiskey Raffle, which, by the way, it benefits St. Lillian Academy. It's a special needs school here in Baton Rouge. The Rare Whiskey Raffle is tomorrow, Tuesday, and you can get your tickets. I sent the link on my text line. It's also on Facebook, my Facebook, my Twitter. It's everywhere. If you want to buy tickets, this guy, Jordan, said, "Dude, you scared the bleep out of me. I thought you were this creepy guy, Matt, from high school." Why would the creepy guy Matt from high school have your number if you don't keep up with the creepy guy Matt?
Because he's the creepy guy Matt.
But why would he have your number?
Because he's creepy. Creepy people do weird stuff,
Doesn't
man.
mean you can get someone's number.
Oh.
I think sometimes people are just, they're surprised when I reply on the text line. No, that's like actually me. My fat fingers. Or my formerly fat fingers. Texting away. All right, it's after further review. William Schmidt in about 10 minutes. Muso, Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Full slate of spring training in Major League Baseball. Let's get you up to date here.
Yeah.
Jake Fraley, now a member of the Tampa Bay Rays. No. Was in the starting lineup when 0 for 1 did draw a walk before he was lifted. Alex Lang, now a member. Now a member of the Kansas City Royals. 2/3 of an innings, a hit, an earned run, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Of course, Lang looking for a bounce-back season after coming off of injury. Tommy White got a start for the Oakland A's here. I guess they're just the A's right now. They don't really have a city. He went 1 for 2. Gage jumped in relief. 1 inning, 1 run, 1 walk. And then Grant Taylor was absolutely phenomenal for the White Sox. Shutout inning with 2 Ks. Cam Thomas, big night for him with the Bucks last night. 15 points in 21 minutes off the bench. 3 boards and an assist as well. That's Tigers in the pros.
You forgot Naz Reid, bro.
Naz Reid did not play last night because of shoulder soreness.
Been since the weekend. He had a giant highlight over the weekend. People were adding me on Twitter like, should have stayed.
Is that where he injured his shoulder, do we think? On
no,
that highlight?
It must have been the game before. But I like when I get tweets from people that are like, should have stayed.
He should have stayed.
Never mind the fact that he's like chopping down people and crushing things and being awesome. Like,
winning 6th man of the year.
Like an alien. Remember when people thought Naz Reid should have stayed in school? Idiots. Whatever. All right, it's after further review. Hour number 3, William Schmidt, right after SportsCenter. Stay here.
After further review.
Shout out to Dr. Blake Williamson over at the Williamson Eye Center. Locations all over Greater Baton Rouge, by the way. WilliamsonEye.com. Williamson, EYE.com. WilliamsonEYE.com for the Williamson Eye Center. Eye care, eyewear, eye surgery. Say it all the time. Eye care. Of course, if you don't, you should have your annual eye exam. The same way that you should go every 6 months and get your teeth cleaned, and you should go once a year and do your physical at your doctor. Like, you should have your eyes checked once a year. If you're not doing that, or you can't remember the last time that you went to get your eyes checked, it's time. WilliamsonEye.com. You do your annual eye exam. If you wear contacts or glasses, they have the old optical shop where you can get your contacts or glasses prescription filled. But, real differentiator. You want that refractive procedure so you can throw those contacts and glasses in the trash forever? WilliamsonEye.com.
My name's Mike Krumholt, and I've been with First American Bank for 4 years. What makes First American Bank special is we're able to offer all the products and services that any other big bank can offer. What sets us apart is being able to give that small town feel that someone can pick up the phone and they can talk to someone or stop by the branch and get excellent customer service.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
I definitely trust the lake to take care of my body. Being the smallest person on the court, I just have to be in a lot better shape than everyone else, just being quicker and faster. Just having that trust on and off the court is going to help you win a lot more games.
Want to play baseball or softball like the pros? Then join me this Thursday at Marucci's Hitter's House on Seagan. We'll be broadcasting AFR live, so come take some hacks in the cages and meet our friends over at Marucci, the official bat of Major League Baseball at Marucci's Hitter's House.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Everything you need for a stunning garden is at the Plant Barn in Baton Rouge.
From trees and shrubs to plants and pottery, the Plant Barn has it all at great prices. Visit us today on Valley Street, right off Perkins Road in South Downs.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A year after a debacle where the Cowboys' Micah Parsons relationship deteriorated to the point that it ended with his trade to Green Bay, Dallas is taking a different approach this offseason in negotiations and having a sense of urgency. Cowboys are leaning toward using the franchise tag on receiver George Pickens, coming off a career year, says Dallas Executive Vice President Stephen Jones.
We want Pickens here. Think the world of him. Want him here, love him. And I think he wants to be here, so all that's a plus. A lot of guys who we've tagged, participated in everything. Dak leading the way, and he played under 2 of them, so he never missed anything. Hopefully that'll be the case here.
Source told ESPN's Jeremy Fowler the Falcons will franchise tag tight end Kyle Pitts. NBA Suns forward Dylan Brooks, one of the team's best two-way players, will miss 4 to 6 weeks with a broken hand amid their playoff push. Phoenix currently 7th in the West. Houston forward Kevin Durant told ESPN he plans to play in the 2028 Summer Olympics in LA. He's a 4-time gold medalist and the U.S. men's all-time leading scorer in Olympic competition.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance, making it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Musto. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Baseball Tigers 8-0 swept the weekend. William Schmidt on Sunday, a big part of that.
Schmidt checks over at the runner at first. Swing and a miss. Another big-time pitch from Schmidt. A slider down out of the zone. That is now 7 Ks for William Schmidt.
And dating back to inter-squads, it's 3 really good performances in a row. I thought he just filled up the zone. He was ahead all day. All of his pitches for strikes. When he does that, it's really hard to get on any one pitch. And even when you do this stuff so good, he beats bats. And he did that today.
And William Schmidt, good enough to join us here for a couple of minutes as the Tigers have the day before they're back at it on Tuesday against McNeese. Yo, man, thanks for the time. How are you?
What's going on? I'm good. How are y'all?
Doing great. Heard the play call there and what Coach Jay had to say afterwards. How'd you feel yesterday?
Pretty good. A little nervous going into it, but offense and defense helped a lot, and win's a win.
Yeah, man. What you said you were a little nervous. What caused the nerve? Do you normally get nervous before a start?
Yeah. There's sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it, and I've just gotten used to it at this point, and I got a lot of people that help calm me down, and a lot of people got my back on this team, so that definitely helps for sure.
Yeah. Like in football, guys that would say they're nervous, they would they'd throw up before a game, or like the first time you pop the pads or something like that. They say, okay, then you settle into it. Is there a moment where, is it after the first pitch? Is it after the first half inning? What is there a moment where that, or something that helps you kind of calm that down and settle into the groove?
Nah, it's the first pitch. You throw the first one, and then you're just like, all right, that wasn't bad. Here we go.
Love it, man. Hey, walk me through what happened in the 4th and the 5th, man, because both those innings, in consecutive innings, you allowed the leadoff guy on, and both you came back just house of fire and got out of it. Walk me through, if you would, those 2 innings and working past getting the leadoff guy on.
Yeah, it's been a big thing in my development from last year to this year, just not letting the little things bother you. Hitters doing their job, they're supposed to get hits off of you sometimes, and it's just part of the game. So it's just figuring out a way to work around it. And Coach Yeski and I had a plan with the hitters that were coming up on what to do with them, and we executed that plan and got out of a jam.
William Schmidt's with us. So I'm glad you said that, because that was actually my next question about from last year to this year. Obviously, it was your first taste of college baseball a year ago, and you had a great freshman season. But in what ways do you feel like you've changed from your freshman year to this early, right? But from last year at this point to this year?
Physically, I've put on 15, 20 pounds from my first freshman year physical. But mentally, it's just, like I said, like how Cade and Ant were just so good at not letting the little things bother them. And it was all about next pitch mentality. And, I mean, that's just one of the things I've adopted from them and trying to put to use this year for me.
William, is that something that's learned, or is that something you practice? I mean, how do you do that? You know what I mean? Like, how do you just start to go into the next pitch mentality?
Yeah, I mean, it's something you can practice, but it's just a decision that you make while you're out there. You don't get rattled, bad umpire call. I mean, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't reverse the hit that you just gave up. So it's just all about this next pitch and getting this guy out on this pitch right there.
William Schmidt's with us here. Hey, you said you gained 15 to 20 pounds. How'd you gain the weight? A lot of canes? What'd you do?
Smoothie King.
What's your order?
Just a medium strawberry Hulk with a few, whatever, muscle gainer, protein. Like, I have spent hundreds to thousands of dollars on Smoothie King in the last 2 years.
Wait. There's no – I refuse to believe that you could gain the weight just by doing Smoothie King.
Right.
Like, that's it?
Well, you just can't substitute it as like a meal. Like it's one of my snacks, and it's got like 1,000-something calories in it. So it's like a really good snack, and it doesn't really fill you up that much.
My guy said he spent hundreds of thousands of dollars at Smoothie King. Bro, at this point, you need to be an investor. Like, you need to go.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe you are.
My mom is begging me to get a deal with them.
You know what? We're gonna clip this, Paul. William, we're gonna clip this. We're gonna post it, and we're gonna tag Smoothie King on every platform. Like, if you don't have a Smoothie King deal by the end of this right now, I might just quit my job. Actually, I don't think I'm going to do that. But, we got to get something for this guy. You kidding me? At least, some of the local franchisees that could hook you up. I mean, my goodness, this feels like fish in a barrel.
Yeah,
okay.
they know. They see my car, and they know what to start making. I don't even got to order anymore.
So good. It's funny. I remember talking to, it was Ahmad Bro, who on the football team, when he came, he moved from defensive end to defensive tackle, and he gained a bunch of weight. And he said his weight gaining regimen was Whataburger. Like, he was what do you like? All these double cheeseburger, pepper, this or that with the mega fries and all. I'm like, that's probably not the healthiest way to go. But Smoothie King feels like a healthier way to go about gaining.
Yeah, I'm also the pickiest eater you've ever seen.
All right, well,
it's just a good plain meal. Get in the stomach.
You found a way to do it. A couple more minutes here with William Schmidt. Hey, so last year, obviously, you did some midweeks, some relief outings. This year, you're in the rotation on Sundays. You feel comfortable there?
Game's the game. Doesn't matter if you're pitching Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, midweek, up, down, 10 runs. I mean, 60 feet, 6 inches. You just go in there and do your job, and doing your job will earn you more opportunities of where you actually want to pitch. But count me in, just getting wins and stacking them up to get the playoffs.
What do you feel like you need to work on?
I would say just zoning in the big misses. Sometimes people, you'll complain about an umpire call, but you just threw the last 3 off the backstop. So, of course, you're not going to get the nibbled edge outside corner. So I would say just honing in the misses. And then this week, what was a big thing for me was the breaking ball was in the strike zone a lot more than opening day. So just continuing to work on that and being more consistent with that, and just being able to hold my stuff through a few innings. The long innings of the 3 and 4 run innings were starting to get to me at the end there. So just working on that routine and, honestly just staying consistent.
Who's the toughest hitter in the LSU lineup to get out?
Just for me?
Yeah, for you.
Or okay, for me? Oh, God. I feel like Jake's had my number sometimes. Stevie always puts up actually, it's Derek. I walk Derek every time he gets to the plate.
Why?
I walk him every time. I don't know. We literally have a nickname for him. We just call him Scary Derek because everyone always just walks him for whatever reason.
I love that.
Puts together good at-bats, and Scary Derek, he never hits any homers off of us in the fall, but he's got a 3,000 on-base percentage.
Print the shirts, Scary Derek. Who knew? So y'all all, that's his nickname. Y'all all call him Scary Derek.
Yeah, it came from Coach Yeski because he just got tired of us walking him.
Oh, man. Who's the pitcher on the staff? Last one. Who's the pitcher on the staff that you most like to watch, though? Like, if he's on the bump, you want to, get up on the top step and watch him.
Bro, honestly, all of them. All of them are my guys. That's who I spend most of my time with, and we're all in the fight together. So, I mean, every inning counts, every pitch counts. So I'm always on that top rail. I just support my guys because I know when I'm out there, they're supporting me. That's what it's all about.
William Schmidt, LSU sophomore starter. I'll let you go so you can get to Smoothie King, man. Thank you for the time. We appreciate it.
All right, if I get that deal, I owe you one.
No, this is gonna happen. I've lit the spark to be like, no, I got to make this happen some way or another. We're doing something with Smoothie King. All right, man. Be well. Thank you.
All right, sweet. Y'all have a good one.
You too. It's William Schmidt. It's After Further Review, brought to you by First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. FirstSouthLand.com. Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Man, awesome. With locations all over Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama as well. FirstSouthLand.com is the website. I know I say it often, but your first call should be to First South Farm Credit, and trust me, it'll be your only call. They have specialized since 1916 in one thing, helping Louisianians buy land. So if it's that recreational property that you want to own, maybe it's maybe like right now as you're going through tax season, you're thinking, man, I got to do something in 2026 to reduce this tax bill. Owning recreational timber property could be a great investment. So talk to your CPA and see if that's something that could be beneficial. I mean, look, you know as well as I do. And Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492, and man, I think they found all the land by this point in 2026. They ain't making more of it. So dirt is always a great investment. First South Land can help you do it. First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. FirstSouthLand.com. Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Thanks to William Schmidt for joining the show. Bro, how about that? How about that Smoothie King? I was not expecting him to say Smoothie King is how he's gained 20 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do some fatty meal, some high protein things. There's some peanut butter in there. What do you say? Through the
muscle build or the Hulk?
We said the Hulk, with muscle. No. Okay.
That's a lot of Smoothie King. That's a lot of smoothies.
Well, he said his smoothies are 1,000 calories.
I know.
Dude, 1,000-calorie smoothie is... I mean, I could understand if you roll through and get a burger and fries, how pretty easily you could rack up 1,000 calories.
Oh, yeah.
1,000 calories in a smoothie is...
How about him saying it's not that filling either?
Yeah.
1,000-calorie smoothies. And it's just a snack. Yeah, it's a good snack. It's not that filling.
Saturday, I went to UFC this weekend. Let me pick that up. Here because I want to stay on time. Because I had a great weekend, man. Went to UFC fights in Houston. It was awesome. Pick up on that. But I do want to talk about when we come back as well. There is a likely to be free agent, the former LSU Tiger, that I think the New Orleans Saints should sign. I want to talk about it next at AFR.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Duplessis Builders, DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. By the way, I was talking to Derek last week. It was Friday. I was talking to Derek on Friday. And they've expanded into Lafayette as well. Boots on the ground in Lafayette, so they continue to grow their footprint, which is just awesome, man. You know, we are getting close now. When you had those 80-degree temp days last week, I could kind of start to feel it. I know it's not pool season yet, but it's going to be here before you know it. I'm telling you, man, there's just nothing like when you live here, where we live with triple-digit heat indexes for months. There's nothing like being outside when you have a pool because no temperature bothers you. You just put on some sunscreen, get a glass of water or pour yourself a tequila, cold beer, whatever, and go jump in your pool. It's a great way to spend any day. And Duplessis Builders can make that dream a reality. DuplessisBuilders.net. Check them out right now. DuplessisBuilders.net.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Cane's Box Combo, a symphony of flavors. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper, give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Shout out to William Schmidt. Has anybody from Smoothie King called yet to offer that kid a deal? Has the phone rang yet?
The phone has not rang yet.
Right. For real, though. I don't know. I need to find, who owns the franchises, the local franchises, or if it's, more of a regional thing. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to get William Schmidt. Can give the kid free smoothies. What are we talking about?
He just said he spent hundreds of thousands of dollars there.
I'm going to guess that's probably an exaggeration.
We don't know, though.
He said he spent hundreds of thousands of dollars at Smoothie King. I'm going to guess. Now, lifetime. Schmitty here is 19, 20 years old. Lifetime, we could probably go ask his parents. And lifetime, if this has been a common habit or destination for him, maybe. What's an average smoothie cost you? If you have all the add-ons and everything there, $10, $12. If you got all the extras in there, I don't know. If he's getting like the big 44-ounce with everything.
I was gonna say $12 to $15. $15 is what I was gonna say.
Go high end, $15. I mean, let's see.
Of course, then you have to depend on the size. So if like you're getting regular size, if you get like a large,
I'm saying he's getting the 44-ouncer. Let's say he's spending $15 a smoothie. All right. If you were to spend $100,000 and it was $15, that would be 6,600 smoothies. Okay, divided by 365 days. Like, that's in a year. He would have to be drinking like 18 smoothies a day.
That's not doable.
Like that's my point. Now, like, that's not happening. But again, lifetime over Schmitty's life, possible. That's why I think he was exaggerating.
Yeah,
saying that. However, thousands of dollars on smoothies, I think that's absolutely real. Anyway, so if you own or know someone who owns a Smoothie King, holler at me. Let's get Schmitty a deal. You can email me, tweet me, text me, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Let's see, Clayton Knight. Let's see this. He just sent me a link to a smoothie that this smoothie is 1,230 calories, whichever one this is. Just so much sugar, 180 grams of sugar in there. That's a lot of sugar.
Has a lot of sugar. Insane amount of calories for a smoothie, too, man.
I mean,
1,200 calories.
If you load up with like the protein, the muscle builder, like peanut butter, like you can load up calories in a smoothie. Like you can drink your calories. You can do it. That's a lot.
A lot.
That's a lot. Had a really good weekend. Saturday, jetted out to Houston to go to UFC, the fight night. Awesome night. Shout out to Carly Judas, Louisianian. Was on the first fight of the prelims. Won her fight. Awesome. Great card, but I got to give a sincere special shout out and thanks to Bryant and Douglas Bocock, Sarah as well, who's Doug Bocock's wife. Got to meet up with them in Houston. Of course, I'll tell you about Bocock Brothers Premium Cigars. I love partnering with them for a lot of different reasons. And they've done so much with us with me and T-Bob at Whiskey and Wine and a lot of other stuff. But they actually did the private label cigar boxes for the Guarantee 100 party over at LeBairs for the 100 years of Guarantee Media. But man, had an awesome time. After the fights, I went to it was called Permission Whiskey Lounge in the Heights. So if you're not familiar with Houston, the Heights are just about 10 minutes north of downtown. And it was awesome. I didn't know this. Well, I had never been there before anyway, but there's a speakeasy. So if you go like into the bathroom, there's like you go to the door into the bathrooms. There's the men's room, women's room, and then straight ahead there's another door which goes into like the speakeasy, the private lounge. And so they were very kind to host me and my brother-in-law Jeff. There was some this is the wildest thing. There was some 23-year-old Russian oligarch who was there, and he bought us pours of Louis XIII, which this is 100-year-old cognac that they quite literally bring. They have a cart. The display is like this giant backlit, underlit cart with a bottle that's enormous. They said there's 15 bottles of this in the country, and one of them was there. I don't know how much those pours were. I wouldn't pay for it.
It doesn't matter, right?
Probably more than William Schmidt spends on Smoothie King. But But it was a great time. And shout out to the Bococks. They were great. I know they I love talking about those guys because first of all, if you like cigars, their product is great. They're LSU guys. So the tobacco is Honduran. These are LSU alums, and their first licensing deal they ever got was with LSU. So like when you buy the licensed LSU cigars, they actually pay a royalty back to LSU for NIL, and that goes into the LSU coffers. So I love that. And when they got the LSU license, it opened the door for them to get many, many more licenses. So when Florida won the basketball national championship last year, blah. But the Bocock brothers did the Florida officially licensed championship boxes. Indiana just won the football national championship. The Bocock brothers premium cigars did the Indiana officially licensed boxes. But anyway, I wanted to point this out because I mentioned this after they won the national championship. Pull this up, Paul. After they won the national championship, they did the LSU baseball national championship boxes. Well, they sold out immediately. Well, they're back in stock now. And so if you want to check it out, it's phenomenal. And I was talking to their marketing people last week, and there was like, on Thursday, there was like 50 boxes left. So if you like cigars or know someone who does, you want to give them as a gift, or just think it's really cool to have in your office to hand out to clients or whatever, the product is great. You'd be benefiting LSU as well. Bocock Brothers Premium Cigars. Check them out, bocockbrothers.com, bocockbrothers.com. And they do have a code for us. So like if you use the code MAT15, so my name 15, MAT15, MAT15, it'll get you 15% off your order. So 10 out of 10 recommends. Great product. You'd be helping LSU, supporting LSU alums who own this business as well. Bocock Brothers Premium Cigars, bocockbrothers.com, bocockbrothers.com. Again, use the code MAT15, MAT15 for 15% off your order. So want to shout out those guys. It was great to hang out with them this weekend in Houston, and it's where they live and where the business is now based out of Houston. So it was great to see those guys this weekend, and good to watch some carnage. I'll tell you, bro, if UFC is ever close, I'm going. And by the way, they had at that place on Friday at Permission, Dana White was there with them for a private event. And so Bryant Bocock told me, he's like, hey, man, if you get here Friday, you can come to the private event here with Dana White. And unfortunately, I had to do a radio show. So I didn't get to go meet Dana White. But I did get to go meet a Russian oligarch and have some really, really expensive cognac on Saturday.
How was the cognac? Yeah.
I mean, the glasses, the chalices they poured in were awesome. If you hold them at a 45-degree angle and you clank them, it makes a G sharp.
Dude, that's so freaking ridiculous.
All of it is very...
That's so ridiculous.
It's very experiential. Yes,
yeah.
Very experiential. But yeah, no, it was
G sharp.
It was great. Like, if I had known, I would have been like, oh, this is really good. I mean, knowing that I was drinking 100-year-old cognac, makes you really savor and appreciate all of it. Would I ever spend my money on that? I would not.
Okay.
I would not.
That's an important designation.
Oh, let's see if I can find this picture. Hang on. I know they posted it. I want to show you this.
Okay.
They posted it on Instagram. I hope that it also is on their Facebook. Yeah, it is. Okay. All right. So here's me. So that's me, obviously. Pull this up. Me, my brother-in-law Jeff is on the right, and then those are the three Bocock brothers. And then this next photo. So this is a photo from behind. That's the bottle in the foreground, at the bottom of the Louis.
Okay, I see now.
And like all the light on our faces is from this cart.
That's ridiculous.
The cart is lit. That's what's shining on us. I mean, it was an experience, man.
It's a show. It's a show, right?
Yeah. But I always say this, like, you don't say things like that for a special occasion. Things like that are the special occasion. Like, so I will forever, I'm very grateful. Like, I will forever remember that night and having that experience, which is awesome. I'm very glad I didn't have to pay for that.
Yeah. Shout out to the Russian guy.
Shout out to the Russian guy. Awesome dude, though. We spent all night hanging out with those guys. They were great. All right, it's after further review. Let me now get a quick break. when we come back, okay, this is what I want to talk about. When we come back, I do think there's an LSU Tiger set to be an NFL free agent, former LSU Tiger, very likely to be an NFL free agent that I think the Saints should sign. We'll talk about it next. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. We've talked a lot about hormone replacement therapy, both for men and women. Highly recommend men, women, get your levels checked. Simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate. Do it. Feel your best. Really want you, though, to learn more about peptides. Peptides are, all of us, our bodies, we have peptides. Peptide supplements help amplify the productivity of your natural peptides. So it could be for so many different things. Mental clarity. It could be for recovery. I've told you I've used BPC 157, which has been amazing for my back pain. It could be NAD plus for cellular optimization. There's so many things that you could have going on if you want to feel and live optimally, that this can be an alternate and help you. Learn more at yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
Another roof gone too soon.
Looks like neglect. There's no doubt about it. This is a case of poor installation.
At Pelican Roofing, we don't guess. We investigate to find the real cause of your roof's problems. Call Pelican Roofing for your free roof investigation today.
Case closed.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I received at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Falgu.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home, with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
There's sort of this unanimous opinion that interior offensive line is one of, if not the biggest need for the New Orleans Saints in this offseason. And there's several, right? I mean, they got to get more playmakers on the offensive side. They're probably going to be in the market for a boundary corner, especially if they lose Alontae Taylor in free agency, which it kind of feels like they will. But the Saints, certainly in the Mickey Loomis era, they have always invested heavily on the offensive line, really at the line of scrimmage when we talk about the draft. And they've done that recently. The last couple of years, you've drafted your bookend tackles now with Taliesin Fuaga and with Kelvin Banks. You've got Eric McCoy, who will be coming off of injury, but right there, that's 3 positions solidified. And, of course, you used a first-round pick on Cesar Ruiz, who is maybe the worst starter in the NFL at his position, but is still a starter at his position. And I think is better when flanked by really good players, like third-year Taliesin Fuaga should be, and the return of Eric McCoy. So, anyway, the one spot that you're missing is at left guard. Now, you'd hope that was going to be Trevor Penning. Didn't work. You traded him. So, this past year, you had Dylan Radens-Raduns, who you ran out there at left guard, and he was serviceable, former second-round pick. But it stands to reason that with a very poor running game this past year, the Saints are going to look up great both at running back and on the interior of the offensive line, and the notable spot is at left guard. So the question is, are you shopping for a guard in free agency, or are you going to draft one? And the answer might be both. But I think Ed Ingram, the former LSU Tiger, is a player that the New Orleans Saints should absolutely kick the tires on, and he may very well be the player that I think they should sign at the top of the list. We've gone through some of these here in recent weeks. Maybe most notably was David Edwards from the Buffalo Bills, who's set to be a free agent. We spent a lot of time talking about the possibility of the Saints going and signing David Edwards. But I want to really kind of hone in on why I think Ed Ingram might even make more sense than that. So let's just start with this. The Saints, in need of an interior offensive lineman, this is a good year to be in that market. ESPN has a piece up where they rank by position the deepest positions in free agency and the draft for this year. Number 1 is edge rusher. Number 2 is interior offensive line. They say this is the second deepest position in the draft and free agency this year. And they mentioned, Tyler Lindenbaum from the Ravens, who's center, but you start talking about Drew Dahlman, Creed Humphrey, some of the centers. But when you start looking at the guards, there's Isaac Seumalo from the Steelers, David Edwards, who we mentioned from the Bills, Elijah Vera Tucker from the Jets, Joel Bitonio from Cleveland, who's 34 years old, if he decides he wants to continue playing. They also mention Ed Ingram. So if you look at Ingram, he's an interesting test case because, remember, this was a guy who came to LSU, was a dominant player, had an off-the-field issue, which he ended up being cleared from. It was I don't know that we need to unearth all of that again, but basically he was wrongly accused of something, ended up missing a season and a half of his college career. Instead of being bitter, came back, was awesome on the national championship team, had a great career at LSU, and was picked by the Minnesota Vikings. Well, he had 3 underwhelming seasons in Minnesota. As a rookie in 2022, he played 1,200 snaps. I mean, he was a starter as a rookie. His Pro Football Focus grade that season, however, was a 57. His pass blocking grade was a 42. So he wasn't very good as a rookie. He started, but wasn't very good. The next 2 years, he saw his playing time diminish. He went from 1,200 snaps to 900 snaps to 580 snaps. Minnesota just kind of gave up on it. And so before the 25 season, so last year at this time, Minnesota traded him to Houston. And remember, he's from DeSoto, if I'm not mistaken. I'm almost positive he's from DeSoto, Texas. So went closer to home. And this season in Houston, he had a renaissance, had an absolute breakout year for the Texans. Remember, I told you his Pro Football Focus grade as a rookie was a 57. In his second year was a 59, then a 54. Minnesota trades him. This year, his PFF grade in Houston was a 73.8. When you look at some of the individual games that he played, especially late in the season, like the wild card game against Pittsburgh, his grade was an 87. Pass blocking grade was a 73. Run blocking grade was an 84.6. If you're watching, not listening, you look at that chart, like see all those blues in there? Those are elite level performances, all those blue dots that you see up there. He was outstanding. I mean, against Tennessee, his overall grade was an 88.9. He had an 84.3. He had an 80. I mean, talking about overall grades here. And there's other games like that game against Tennessee. His run blocking grade was a 90.6. Again, we say about PFF, it's a metric, not the metric. It's something to consider. But you can very clearly see a stark contrast in what the player was for 3 years in Minnesota, where his snap counts diminished and his grades sort of correlated that. It wasn't very good. To a year like this, where he goes to Houston, has an outstanding season as a starter, and now going into free agency is someone that is probably going to be a coveted interior lineman in free agency. So now look at, as we kind of look at what a deal for Ingram may look like, okay? We've sort of established 3 subpar seasons in Minnesota. He gets traded for a 6th-round pick. Like, just get some, almost like what the Saints did with Trevor Penning. You had a player that you would try to make it work. It didn't work, so you trade him for whatever you can get for him. And so Minnesota takes a 6th-round pick for Ingram. He goes to the Texans and ends up having this career year. Well, Ed Ingram's rookie deal was a 4-year, $5.9 million deal. Like, this is why when you hear always talk about, like, get to the second contract, right? So his rookie deal was a 4-year, $5.9 million contract, okay? Not very impressive. And then when you look at his market value, so the projected, like what Spotrac projects as a market value deal for Ed Ingram this offseason, they're looking at what would be a 3-year, they project a 3-year, $38.9 million contract that averages out to $13 million per year. That's what they're projecting for Ed Ingram, $13 million per. Now, let's look at that, compare and contrast with a guy like David Edwards, who we talked about here on the show a couple weeks ago from the Bills. David Edwards is 28. He's going to turn 29 next month. So David Edwards will be 29 and a half for the start of the 2026 season. Ed Ingram, just like earlier this month, on February the 11th, just 2 weeks ago, turned 27. So you have a guy that's 2 years younger than David Edwards, just had a career season coming into his physical prime. And when you look at the projected deal for Edwards from Spotrac, the market value was 3 years, $59.7 million. Ingram's projected deal is 3 years, $38 million. Now, it is fair to say Edwards has been a better starter for longer than Ed Ingram. But if you're looking at not what they've done, but what they'd be projected to do over 3 years, do you think Ed Ingram, coming off a career year, entering his year 27, 28, 29-year-old seasons at $13 million per, would be a better option than David Edwards entering his 29, 30, 31-year-old seasons at $20 million per season? That's what you kind of have to weigh. So in some respects, there is a risk, but you're with Ingram because he's had one really good season, but you're mitigating that risk because you're going to pay less. As opposed to a guy like Edwards, who's more proven, there's less of a risk there, but it's going to cost you more. And the risk is in the fact that he is an older player, and you wonder how much longer will he perform at that level. So when you're weighing those things, there's 2 different paths you could take, or the third path would be you draft an interior offensive lineman somewhere with one of your top 3 picks and hope that, boom, you hit, and that player becomes a starter and plays on a rookie deal and is really good. And that could certainly happen. But it feels like the Saints are going to address the interior offensive line in free agency. And Ed Ingram may very well just be the best option in free agency when you value upside, experience, productivity, and what it's going to cost in getting a value add. This would feel like a really good option. And I think I'm trying to take off the purple and gold glasses, not think, man, it would just be great to have an LSU guy, and think about all of those factors mixed in to say that's probably the best value prop for the New Orleans Saints, is if they added Ed Ingram over a guy like David Edwards. Now, the question is, will the Houston Texans ever let Ed Ingram hit free agency, or they extend him now before he ever hits the open market? Something worth watching here as we get close to the start of the league year. All right, it's after further review. We are glad to have you hanging out with us. Love telling you about Parish Construction and Roofing. ParishBuilt.com, ParishBuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing. That's me and Terrio and Tilly and Joe and our whole staff that I tell you about all the time. Couple things. Hey, look, this is a real world thing, man. I told you last week we're having our house painted on the inside. The paint crew noticed a wet spot on the sheetrock, ended up cutting a hole in the sheetrock, and noticed that there was an active leak. So we called Parish. They came, found the active leak, and last Friday had our crew out at our house repairing that leak in our home. So tell you all the time, if it's a small residential repair all the way up to a giant commercial or industrial facility re-roof, we do it all at Parish Construction and Roofing. And we're giving away $25,000. It's easy. All you got to do is go to ParishBuilt.com, ParishBuilt.com, ParishBuilt.com. You'll see the pop-up on the homepage, or there's the banner there at the top. Just click to enter. All you got to do is sign up for a free, no-obligation roofing inspection. That's it. No purchase. Not going to hassle you with anything. Just let us inspect your roof. You get a free detailed roof inspection. So if there ever is a storm, great. Now you have a detailed roof inspection to present to your insurance company. And if you do have damage, we're more than happy to help you with it. And if nothing else, you're entered to win $25,000. Super easy. ParishBuilt.com, ParishBuilt.com. The $25,000 giveaway is here. Enter today at ParishBuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing, ParishBuilt.com. All right, y'all, been a great show. If you missed anything, AFR On Demand, presented by Brett Golf. Ross Jackson was here in round one, in hour one, talking about his 7-round mock draft. Ross will also be at the Combine this week for LouisianaSports.net and Locked On Saints. Todd Walker was here last hour. William Schmidt just about a half an hour ago. Do we have a Smoothie King deal yet for William Schmidt? Is that done?
Yeah, no update there.
All right, no update. We're going to see if we can get that done. Calling Smoothie King partners. I got some names. Yeah. Got some names, okay? On the text line, got some leads. Calling Smoothie King. Do a deal with William Schmidt. If you own Smoothie King locations, know someone who does or can help connect. LSU pitcher William Schmidt just said he gained 20 pounds drinking smoothies from Smoothie King. Like when he was trying to put on good weight. Like, this is someone who needs to endorse me. You need to do a deal with this guy. Let's get it done. All right, it's after further review. Final break. Auto Locks next.
AFR.
Oh, speaking of getting it done, get Gordon and get it done. That's honest to goodness, the next one on the sheet. Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys. By the way, Gordon McKernan will be on AFR tomorrow. AFR will be live from the garage. If you're not familiar, Gordon's main office in Baton Rouge, the big office off of Corporate Boulevard that you see from the interstate, if you look directly across the interstate from that, you'll see another office with the rotating G sign. That's another one of Gordon's offices. Well, quite literally, the garage attached to that building, they converted into a podcast studio that they call appropriately the garage, which he rents or loans to anybody for free. Anybody that wants to do a podcast, you can sign up and he'll let you use his space for free. It's an amazing service that Gordon gives back. We're going to be doing AFR from the garage tomorrow. Very excited about that. Gordon will be here as well. Hey, if you've been injured, you know what to do. Go to GetGordon.com. Get Gordon, get it done.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
It's 2026 and you're thinking about your future. College, workforce, tech school? This could help clear it up for you. According to a 2025 Georgetown University study, ITI Technical College ranked as the #1 college in all of Louisiana for return on investment. So the better return on your dollar for your education begins here. Call us or visit us online to start your new career or to get the life that you've always wanted for your family. ITI Technical College. We're in the better life business.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
My father, J.B. Falgout, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Falgout.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they...
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on this Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. One thing left to do, find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Yo, Otter, what up?
What's going on, Matthew?
Well, I was actually a little bummed. Do you know Texas doesn't have mobile betting? Mobile sports betting?
Yeah, I knew that.
That's insane. I was at UFC in Houston on Saturday, and I was trying to, in-game some bets, and I pulled out my phone, and I'm like, this is unbelievable. I had no idea.
No,
sucks.
That doesn't work like that. The geofencing is pretty tightly regulated.
Well, I didn't know. Texas, why does Texas not have mobile sports betting? That's stupid. Why does anybody not have mobile sports betting? It's stupid.
It's politics.
It's stupid.
And it's pretty, they don't need it, is one of the reasons, too. So
whatever.
It's more of a possibility than California, I can tell you that. That came up for vote about 4 years ago and lost by 80-20 vote. So, but yeah, no, that's why the Lake Charles and Shreveport casinos do so well.
Yeah,
the Texas money.
All
so,
right. Well, what are we betting on tonight? I missed a giant opportunity. I would have cashed too, man.
Well, let's hopefully we cash again. We did it all last week. 4 straight profitable nights. It's a light card tonight, as it is pretty much every night, minus Tuesday and Wednesday in college basketball. Going to go to an off-the-script game. Local conference, though. And we know about McNeese State the last couple of years at Will Wade. They won the conference title regular season and the conference tournament. It's in Lake Charles again this year. Doesn't matter what the results of for the next couple of years. But anyway, Stephen F. Austin has swept McNeese on the court, home and away. They will be the number 1 seed when they get to play that game. These lines are moving up a little bit because Stephen F. Austin is the one of the highest percentage of covering, highest winning percentage in all of college basketball. So they're laying a big number tonight, 11.5 against UNO, a team that they struggled with at the Lakefront Arena earlier this year. That's why I like them, because I don't think they'll take them as serious. They'll take them seriously tonight. So we're going with Stephen F. Austin tonight, minus the 11.5 against UNO. And then one more tonight, Big Monday.
1 minute
we
remaining.
go to the Big 12 in Kansas, who's been so good against the big teams. They've lost against some of the weaker teams, including Saturday. They did have Peterson in the game. He did play when Cincinnati pulled away a tight game and won by 16. We're going with Houston to take care of the Kansas Jayhawks at Fog Allen tonight, minus 1.5.
All right. Stephen F. Austin and Houston, your 2-place night for Otter Locks. Where are you tomorrow?
We are at Mike Anderson's on Lee, just off of Nicholson. They've got crawfish right now, too, man. They were really good. I had them over the weekend.
Let's go. It's crawfish season. I'm ready. All right, Otter. Good luck. Thank you.
All right, good luck.
All right, man. Be well. That's going to do it for us here. Shout out, as always, to Brandon Holly and the gang over at Relief Windows. Windows, door siding. They do shutters and blinds, too. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. All right, it's going to do it for us here. We're getting on down the road. Tomorrow, we're live from the garage. Gordon McKernan will be there with us. Shay Dixon, all the good stuff. Get you ready for some LSU baseball. Views, Polly, thanks. See you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
Getting on down the road, remind you about our friends over at Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together we roar. Man, of course, they're so thrilled to be able to do so many wonderful NIL deals to support LSU student athletes. As we've told you about plenty of them during football season here, during basketball season as well, with Michaela Johnson and with Flaugier, Michaela Williams, excuse me. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. I totally lost my train of thought. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, championship health partners. And on top of being synonymous with LSU, Our Lady of the Lake expands healthcare all over Baton Rouge and through the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System all over our state and region. OLOLRMC.com/LSU. That's where you can learn more about the Championship Health Partnership. OLOL.com/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together, we rule.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. Earned both on the court and off. And every step along the way, I trust Our Lady of the Lake to keep me in the game.
FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake experts provide best-in-class care for our state's world-class athletes, because it takes a champion to care for champions.
On the court, I trust my team. For my health care, I trust the lake.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. No, the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
At Parrish, we're built for tough players and tough roofs.
Coach is tough on us about preparation, and Parrish brings that same championship mindset.
Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing.
ParrishBuilt.com.
Want to play baseball or softball like the pros? Then join me this Thursday at Marucci's Hitter's House on Seagan. We'll be broadcasting AFR live, so come take some hacks in the cages and meet our friends over at Marucci, the official bat of Major League Baseball at Marucci's Hitter's House.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling.